New Year. And no. Yes, folks, you are live in a technicolor, if you will. This is the time of year where everything happens, and we're getting ready to get on this roller coaster. Yes, this Saturday is the Royal Rumble, not Royal Inn. Um, but we got Jerry coming back for his drink, and then we've got our special guest who just walked in the door, Miss Tanya Ray Fox. How you doing, hon? How you doing? Hold on, let me before I don't want to be rude. Hold on, where are my buttons?
Oh my goodness, that's
Gotta
amazing.
give her a little bit of love. So, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk to you guys. Thank you for having me on.
No problem, no problem. We are looking forward. This is what was it? We didn't have Jerry last week, so we got Jerry back. And basically, we would do WWE last, but we're going to do it first, especially with the Rumble coming up. Um, Big news coming out. We've heard that the signing of Jordan Grace is official. By the way, before we officially start, let me introduce the panel. We've got down in the corner, and no, we didn't send him there, but it is the lone wolf, Jerry Nims, Mister, the one that can game and wrestle at the same time. So, Jerry, what's up? How you doing?
What's up? I'm all right.
Yep. All right. And then, of course, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend.
Ah, see. Yeah.
See, I still don't get my own music. What the fuck?
I
Look,
gotta work
look.
on it. I told you
Jerry,
on your
listen.
epic ring entrance.
Jerry,
Yeah,
Jerry, I'm not
yeah,
saying I have
yeah.
an ego, Jerry, but what I'm saying is that
We know.
when contracts are negotiated, I'm there personally because I can't, that whole no, I have to be there in person. I requested that. So
And not only that, but Ladarius has to, it's one of those. It's like Ladarius is a mad scientist. I don't know if y'all know this. He wants everything perfect. He has worked hard on this entrance music, each pitch, everything. So it's all good. So
yeah.
you just wait, Jerry. You're gonna love it.
We have a couple of
Better
comments.
than,
No,
Judgment Day.
don't change the subject, Jerry. He's talking about me. No, don't.
We got a message from. Well, first we got a message from Ron and April. They said, "What's up, everyone?" And then we got a message from one of our fellow co-hosts from the morning shows that we do. Hey guys, and Tanya checking in. I hope y'all have a great show tonight. Well, it's going to be this afternoon. So, and of course, like I said, last Darius, how you doing, brother? How's everything going?
I'm doing well. I'm trying to get my head in this circle, but I'm doing okay. Yeah. Because Tanya knows how much I do the square, so I'm used to the. I'm trying to get to the circle. I always try to get used to the circle.
To the squares. I apologize.
No. You don't have to appease me. No.
You are
Yeah,
my
you
cat.
do. If not, he's going to complain.
What?
The HR at that.
I'm going to ignore that because when you go low, I will always go high. So remember that. I'm not gonna take the shots. So
okay, Miss Tanya, how are you doing? How did you get into the love of wrestling? What era got you more hooked in than others? And oh dear Lord, I got another message here. So sorry, I'm old C-Dub. It's almost dinner time for me, which is basically nighttime. Carrie, don't feel bad. I'm waiting on dinner myself. So you see the old. So, but Tanya, if you don't mind, tell us a little about you. What got you into wrestling? Obviously you are into football, guys. Check her out on her socials. So, but go ahead.
Yeah, I cover sports, so I'm doing that all the time. But I got into WWE like right, honestly, before the pandemic. I never really watched regularly before that, although I'm a big, like, if it's a competition or if there's athletics involved, I'm into it. So growing up, early 2000s when I was in like high school and then like late 2000s in the college era, whatever, I was always kind of paying attention. And then once YouTube was like the clips were there and all the old clips were there, I would watch like for decades. I would not watch WWE. I would not watch wrestling. I would just watch clips on YouTube for a really long time. So I loved Edge and had all these favorite wrestlers that I'd never really watched because I never watched. And then right before the pandemic started, which I didn't know was going to happen, I started watching at regularly. I'd watch SmackDown and Raw. I just got into it. And so the the initiating era of me really being locked in was in the like
Wow.
pandemic dome.
Oh God. The
I
Thunderdome.
know. So that's how you know I really loved it, because like I didn't even once they finally went back to the fans and live shows, I was like, okay, yes, this is it. This is the real deal. So I really loved it even when everything was locked down.
Oh,
But so it's been about 5 years that I've been like fully all in. And then, I mean, I do my, because I'm a journalist, I do my required reading, and I've watched all the documentaries. I've watched, I've gone back and gone through all the eras and stuff. So I'm pretty, I'm pretty deep into the lore otherwise. But my people are the people who are wrestling right now, or have been for the last 5 years.
no problem there. I mean, look, we'll talk about some of the old, or as Braun Breaker mentioned, the old dinosaurs, in a bit, because look, I love Braun. Braun is one of my favorites right now that's going down. But let's talk about it. So, have you ever been to any of the wrestling events live? I know I believe you're in Cali, if I'm not mistaken, so, or West Coast. So, have you been to any WWE shows or any
Never
wrestling?
been. I have never been. I've been to
Wow.
I've been to a wrestling show in my life, like a house back in the day,
Hmm.
in Massachusetts. But I have never been to like a big WWE or wrestling event. I've never. Everybody's always like, "You need to go. You need to go," and I'm like, So here's the thing. I don't even go to sports. Like I cover sports. I love sports. I don't
Hmm.
unless I'm in a luxury box. I don't go. Unless I'm in a press box, I don't go. Like I don't like the vibe unless it's a hockey game. I'll go to a hockey game. I love a good hockey game. But
Okay.
otherwise, but I know wrestling shows like going to those things live, that actually genuinely looks fun. It's just a matter of getting my ass to one.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you could get to one, you get to one.
Yeah.
But
I
I
know.
will
I
say,
know.
they have gotten so expensive. A lot of people can't even get to the ones that, like, this
Yeah.
past Monday night.
Yeah.
Um, but let's talk about it. It's the Rumble. By the way, big signing happened just a few days ago. Jordan Grace. I know Ladarius talked a little bit about it also, but Jordan Grace getting signed to a multi-year deal, and now no one knows actually if she's going main roster or if she's going to NXT, but a lot of people are hoping she's in the Rumble. She's my personal favorite to win the Rumble myself, but I'm marking. I want to see her win it. I think I'd rather see her win it than whatever android Charlotte Flair turned into. I don't even know. That's not Charlotte. I remember her hurting her knee. I don't know how another face operation happened. I really need to pray for Andrade. I think he woke up and went, Orderly! But yeah, go ahead, guys. I'll let y'all comment. But no, what do y'all think about Jordan Grace getting signed? We'll start with our special guest, then I'll hit it to Jerry, then Ladarius, and then go around the horn.
I every time they bring in new talent, especially on the women's side, I'm excited. Like I am very much a person who is like, even when they brought in Jade and there was all that hype over Jade, I to me it's just like I don't come in with any sort of set ideas of how it's going to go character wise or storyline wise, because I almost am never right about how that goes. So to me it's just about the fact that I think that there's been a little bit of a lull in terms of the excitement in the women's division across the board, and bringing in somebody that's new that comes in with cachet right away, as I that's all I really need. As far as her winning the Rumble or anything like that, I'm not sure, again, I don't
I,
know about that, but I also
look,
don't,
I agree.
I'm so cool and chill about it. I don't care. Like if
Yeah,
she did, that's also cool. That would mean that they probably have had figured out a way to give her a storyline right away. To me, it's more just about like, how do we freshen some things up that I think have gotten a little bit stale?
yeah,
And I think, has the potential to do that.
totally agree. What about you, there, Jerry?
No, yeah. 100% agree. As far as like her coming in, I think she's probably going main roster. and that's just because yeah. And I mean, if you look back at everybody that they've brought in the past couple of years, they've went straight to the main roster. Penta, Jade, and whoever else. But between her name with TNA, I think she's going main roster. I don't know about winning the Rumble, but I
Look,
think she's
look,
going main roster.
I could dream. I'm Superman.
I
So
know, I know, I
I know.
know.
Let me have my dream. We'll talk about the Rumble. We'll go through all that good stuff. I promise. Ladarius, what say you, brother?
Well, first and foremost, I like Jordan Grace, but she's not winning the Rumble. I'm just gonna clear
No.
that up before we.
She's not what?
She's not gonna win the Rumble, so we're just gonna. I like to clear.
Can you just be fun for like 5 seconds, Ladarius? Let's come on.
Wow.
Someone
Wow.
has to be the antithesis on here, and that will be me. So, no, well, okay, she has a shot. Okay, she has a shot.
Well, all 30 of them have a shot.
Look,
Technically.
that's exactly what I meant.
Technically.
Listen, I don't appreciate this tag team going on here. I did not. When I entered the arena, I was like, "Oh, great! I'm going to show up. It's going to be great." Bam! Just
Look, I gotta practice for this weekend. Okay, I gotta take it up with somebody.
yeah. You always choose me. That's quite interesting. That's quite interesting. When I'm going to show up, and you're going to be like, "You're going to do it yourself."
If you want to drive all the way to Arcadia, Florida this weekend, Friday night, go ahead.
Hey, listen. I'll clear my schedule. Schedule cleared. Who's the mystery opponent? It's me.
You, come get me.
But going back to the signing, I think she's going main roster. And I think kind of to Tanya's, I think the women's division, we got to understand what's not there in terms of the women's division. I think Jordan Grace gives that boost because listen, we had a little sneak peek when she was at NXT of what she can do. And now that she's with WWE full time, it's going to be curious to see how she's booked and how she's used because listen, I'm not saying she's going to win a singles championship this year, but what I'm saying is, I just expect her to be in a major program at some point this year.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Grace, like I said, she's an absolute game changer from TNA, come over to WWE. It's just going to be curious to see how she's going to be in the Rumble. But I think she adds that needed boost. Specifically, I hope she kind of goes to Raw because it just feels like something's in the women's division on that side. I think gets a much needed boost because Selena Vega is going to go to SmackDown, after the Rumble. So I think Raw just needs something. We might listen. It might clear up after the Rumble. We might see some faces returning, but I just think that something big is going to happen. I'm just curious to see how they just book her in that regard.
Yeah. Look. I'm like I said. Right now. She's my dark horse. I want her to win, but she's the dark horse.
Okay. All right.
But
any dream will do. Any dream will do.
C-Dub, Laddie Daddy, and guess
yeah. Oh yeah.
what's
Wait.
Up, y'all? And yes, it is Laddie Daddy. And by the way, that is his music.
I get one nickname. I get one nickname. We're just gonna run with it. Yeah.
You know it, man. All right, guys. So the other rumor that got broken earlier, I want to say was yesterday, but AJ Styles, they're saying that he should be able to return by the Rumble, which is this Saturday. So, look, I love AJ Styles. This is another one of C Dub's guys that or women and guys that C Dub just enjoys watching. I've seen AJ Styles live many different times, and he's amazing. And to see him come back would be great. I want to see him finish on his terms. Maybe a TNA run would be nice. So, if y'all have heard about it, I think it was reported by Fightful and then Pro Wrestling Talk actually picked up on it too.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do y'all think about AJ Styles? Potentially, we don't know yet, but there's always surprises at the Rumble. So, what say y'all? We'll start with Miss Tanya.
I also love AJ Styles, and that is one that I've went back and did my work on because he was so legendary and had all of these indie moments and everything else leading up to the fact that he's now just this legendary wrestler in WWE. So I got really invested in AJ Styles. I think he's really good at at being a heel, which is something I'm really critical of. Like, I'm not a fan of a lot of heel turns for a lot of wrestlers because I don't think they do it well. I actually like AJ as a heel. So I would love to see him. I agree the idea of him going out on his terms. I think we're getting to the end on AJ. He like physically can't stay healthy. There's his style of wrestling. The fact that he's gone as long as he has is actually one of the most impressive. It's Tom Brady-esque, quite honestly. So I would love to see him come back to the Rumble. And I mean, personally, I want to see him retire and then done. I don't want to see him go to another another company or anything. Like, I would love to just see him right off into the sunset WWE and be done ASAP. That's what I want. But the thing is, I don't know where he's at in his, in terms of his wrestling, what he's capable of doing, how much of a run he's able to make, or if this Royal Rumble return would be sort of the start of a swan song to begin with. So I don't have any expectations for him on that front. I just want to see him on the mic doing his thing for a little bit, a couple of the iconic moves. And if that's what we get from him, then that's what we get from him. And that's enough for me.
Before Jerry goes, I gotta say this. I must see Jerry. I need to see AJ Styles team with the Machine Guns one time.
Yes.
And I want that because of the relationship. I'm not saying he has to leave the company, but because of the relationship, AJ Styles should be able to go to TNA and beat up somebody there just for old time's sake. That's all I'm saying. Kazarian. There you go.
Okay,
There's a
fair
guy
enough.
that he could go toe to toe with. And then, of course, before Jerry goes, Millie Mills wants to know what games you stream, and he's
A
got
little
a list.
bit of everything. I don't really play ESO or Elden Ring. I've played Skyrim and but a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So, but go ahead, Jerry. What do you think?
So as far as Alan AJ, sorry,
Uncle
whatever, Uncle Alan coming back. So to my understanding, from what I know, he is healthy. It's just when and where. Because I know he was working out with some of the guys down this way. Now, as far as Rumble, I'd like to see him show up at the Rumble, as well as going over to the TNA and doing a couple things there. I mean, his iconic matches in TNA. Come on.
Yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
you.
I mean, his iconic matches here in Georgia, everything is just great. So yeah, I could see him coming back, but I could also see him going over to TNA for a little while and doing some stuff there.
I mean, he could have both. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I could see Hunter really working with him on
Oh
that.
yeah, oh yeah,
Dude,
definitely.
I mean, I think that they're trying to plan it the right timing. It
Yeah.
it just sucks that Bound for Glory was in October. It's like
Yeah, I know.
But go ahead, Ladarius.
Oh, sorry, I was distracted. Sorry.
We're on a podcast, sir.
Listen, as Tanya knows, as she's done many episodes with me, listen, I can get distracted from time to time.
I mean, I get distracted too. It's okay.
It's all about bringing
It's
me back
ADHD. We all have ADHD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was literally just
more of
playing
us.
with I was trying to make like a triangle or something. But now, but anywho, listen, I think the benefit of the WWE TNA merger, I think it fits AJ Styles to a T, and I think he's just one of those guys. He's done it. He's been there, done that, and I want to see him go on his own terms. Because I think he deserved that first and foremost.
Yeah.
And secondly, there's a lot of things you can do with AJ. And listen, a team with the motor, that's not the worst thing in the world. And I think it's just a matter of when he comes back, what do you do? Because you can go a lot of different routes with AJ Styles. Could you go a title route? I think, listen, we keep talking about, who's going to face Gunther and who's going to listen. Why not AJ Styles? Because
I don't know if he can wrestle those matches. Those matches.
Oh yeah, he
right
could.
now with
He
the
could do
health.
it.
You guys think he's that healthy?
Trust me.
I think.
Tex
Oh, go ahead.
Ferguson- Tex Ferguson has told Jerry plenty. I can tell you. Oh, Doc has.
Look, don't call Drew out like that.
I didn't say his government name. I just said certain names. Love Drew. Big fan of him.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. You super kicked him.
No, I elbowed him in the face.
Oh yeah, you did. Then you super kicked your brother.
Too
But
much
anyway, that's another story
Yes.
for another day.
Okay, Ladarius, we're done.
No, you guys keep going. Look, it wasn't. No, you guys are great. It's just
No, go ahead, finish.
See what we deal with him?
what
I know.
you guys. No. We're not doing this. I was in the middle of something. Then you guys went off on this
We
tangent.
apologize. You know how that it goes with us. Our
Yeah,
ADD.
I do, and no one asked me nothing about it. So that's the.
I apologize. Do you forgive me?
Oh boy. Anyway, we'll. I know condescending when I hear it. Now, well, no, just to put a button on it, I'm just very curious to see. Like I said, why not give him that run against Gunther? I'm not saying I don't know about his health, but if he's to that pinnacle of health where he can, because facing Gunther is a task in itself.
Yeah.
So if he can do it, why not? Because my biggest thing is that we're looking for people who's going to face Gunther. Why not AJ Styles? It's just a name to put out there, and I think it makes sense for a lot of reasons. He has the resume for it. It's not like he's a scrub. He has a resume. To me, Hall of Fame kind of resume. Why not? So that's the main direction I would kind of go to. But there's other ways to kind of branch out there.
All right. Well, let's talk about the Rumble. This is why we have Miss Tanya here. And look, we'll talk about Raw afterwards. But I knew the time limit, so I don't want to be. I don't want to forget that. So let's talk about it. Luckily, there's 4 matches. I don't know about y'all. I love that they're doing the tag team title match. 2 out of 3 falls, and it's DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns. If you think like people said, oh, I don't know what they're doing, if they're really going to be that, over, just wait. By the end of that match, the crowd is going to be buzzing. So that's my really sneak peek. But let's talk about that match. What do y'all think? We'll start with Miss Tanya.
Yeah, I can't even believe that anybody has any doubt that that would be an incredible match. As sooner as my Motor City guys came in, I was all in immediately. I again, like a lot of times when people get to WWE, because like I'm not even always watching NXT. A lot of times when people get to the main roster, I am like, okay, here we go. Like maybe I've seen them here or there, whatever, but I am like full on watching Raw, SmackDown, the PLEs. That's like what I'm paying attention to. And I was like, these guys, I'm in all immediately. And DIY is perfect. There's perfect, no, absolutely no notes, 10 out of 10. And the style that they wrestle with is a pure tag team, right? Like it's not pairing individual wrestlers together, even though they all are good individual wrestlers. They have actual tag team approach, which over the years I've learned to really appreciate. And they have all of this, like, I don't know if you'd call it a underground support or niche support or whatever from the like really hardcore fans, but you can always feel that at these PLEs and at these big events. You can feel the support from people who are finally getting to see the guys that they've loved forever, who've grinded it out, finally have these matches. I genuinely have no doubts. It's probably the match that I would look at that would say, if I'm just looking for a pure entertainment factor, that's going to be the best. I personally love DIY. Like I've been, I don't know, as soon as Johnny Wrestling came in, I was like, this is absolutely what. So I'm rooting for them, but I wouldn't even care as long as it's a good match. And I have like, yeah, I'm going to be sat for that one. I'm not getting up for snacks. I'm not whatever. I'm sat for that one.
Yeah, that is where you can plant firmly and you know what you're going to be watching. You don't care how long that match goes.
Exactly.
What to say you, Gary?
Yeah, no, I agree. That match is going to be, top one of the best matches in the show, if not the best match of the show. Anything Johnny or Tommaso do is amazing. And then you add Chris and Alex into the mix, it's just going to be better. And I'm interested to see, if they do a 1-1 type deal or a clean slate or what. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it.
Oh, they got to do it the old school way.
Yeah, I mean they got to do 1-1 at least. Yeah,
You got to. You got to at least be 1-1 at least. I mean, I don't want to see a sweep in this one.
Me neither.
That's all I ask. Just let let that thing simmer, let it cook. Because longer that match goes, I believe the fans are going to be hooked even more.
Oh yeah.
But
They're
Ladarius,
getting, yeah, they're getting the this is awesome. They're getting
oh
a
no,
this
Oh,
is awesome real,
most
yeah, real
definitely.
quick.
oh yeah. I mean, Meltzer might give it 2 stars, but then again, Meltzer doesn't know his.
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
Had to do it. I knew I could get Jerry to say it. Jerry, say the line. Go ahead, Ladarius.
Always great to follow you, Jerry. Now, listen, my biggest thing is hey, we got 4 just great workers, and I think when 4 great workers, I think we're gonna get the "This is awesome" chant, and we're gonna get this. This might be outside of the Rumble match. It's probably match of the night contender just on paper, just what we're seeing on paper because of the work they've done. And I love the fact that they made DIY heel.
Mm.
And I go back to when they made Gargano a heel and the way that was set up. That was set up beautifully. So, and look, I'm not going to mention Lave Meltzer's name on here, but the point is, or whom should not names should not be told. But so I'm just so like I say, it should be a great match. I hope we get the all 3 falls, and I think we will. And I think listen, it has potential to be outside of the Rumble matches. It has match of the night potential just on paper alone.
Yeah. So. Oh. You know what I love about it? They added the Motor City Machine Guns, and people were like, "Oh, well, it's not like all these tag teams are going to step up and really, elevate their talents." Yes, they have.
Yeah, they have.
You saw some of these matches. Like, I gotta tell you, the Garza brothers or the Garza boys, they were
Gilberto
great.
and whatever
Yeah.
the hell his name
Oh
is.
man, I was so impressed with that
Yeah.
match. I enjoyed. It's like just small things that they have pretty much done. And like I said, Shelly, Sabin, they have played their role perfectly.
Definitely.
I love the look. Anytime we could get heel Champa and heel Johnny. I'm in. I
Yeah.
like heel Champa. I love heel Champa. Champa just losing his mind is even better. But but I loved it that they both did it. I love that Johnny screwed him over, and it's just the dimensions, the story, but also if you notice is how they're getting all the tag teams involved, and that's you don't get that lately. You kind of just some tag team divisions feel kind of forgotten,
Yeah.
and it was really good. I think you can really be excited as a fan that you're going to see some classic tag team wrestling, especially at the. I mean, this was again to all the upcoming free agents. Watch, you're gonna notice. These guys were in TNA. These guys were in. Oh, and they're here. I if I'm WWE, I actually would start off with them.
Yeah.
Normally they start with a rumble. I would actually start the tag match. That's just me. Um,
Yeah, me too.
all right. I'm trying to remember. Well, let's talk about the women's rumble match because, like the men's, you know, it may not people may not think it, but it's got a lot of star power that is there, and we don't know all of them yet. But what are y'all thinking about when you think about this Rumble match? Who are your maybe they may not win it, but they'll definitely put on a show. They may last long. Who's going to be the Iron Horse in it, and then who's going to be like who's your dark horses, and who's going to be the ones that you think are going to win? We're going to start with our special guest. Uh-oh, you're muted.
Hello. So
Yes, hello.
they've made mention several times about the fact that Liv Morgan is like the last woman standing before, so she goes out right before whoever wins, right? She's been in every Rumble. So to me, Liv Morgan's sort of just the obvious person of like who is going to be that, like who's the person who's going to continue that legacy of carrying these rumbles. And I don't right now, like so many people have title belts that I would normally look for in a rumble to be like the star of the rumble, like whether it's Liv or whether it's Chelsea Green or like somebody like that I'd be like, oh, maybe it could be her, maybe it could be somebody that's been like rising the ranks. And because Bailey won last year, whatever, this, I'm not gonna lie, I hate to break it to you guys because I know no one here is going to like it, but I really just think this is like a Charlotte Flair situation. And I don't want to say that. I don't want to be the bummer that doesn't have like a cool take or whatever.
I agree.
I've tried in the past to have a cool take and, give the fresh perspective and here's who could step up and whatever else. But you don't, at the end of the day, regardless of how you feel about Charlotte, as a wrestler, she has the cachet and the star power of athletes that they've put in that position in the past on the men's side as well, where it's like, if they're coming back, they're coming in, they're winning it, or they're gonna at least be at the final two, right? And we've seen it happen. Brock Lesnar's done it. All these dudes have done it, and she is that version of that for women, for the women's side. So regardless of whoever else is in there, I just kind of feel like sometimes when they give us this, they're projecting it forward and they're saying this is what we're doing. We tend to not listen because we're like, no, this can't be this obvious. But I think it might be that obvious.
Yeah. No, I agree. As much as I'm with you, as much as I hate to say it, I agree. I say either Charlotte or Becky's coming back and winning it. One of the two.
In which case it'd probably be Charlotte and Becky at the end, which is like, personally, I'm okay with it as long as they make it work all the way until then, as long as the people who are being eliminated and how people are being eliminated is fine. Like, again, if they're going to do it for the men frequently over the course of the history of this match, and with the Rumble being kind of newer, you're only going to have the OGs, the established OG, they made the division what it is type people for so long. These women are into their late 30s. I mean, obviously people can wrestle into their like late 40s and early 50s at this point, but like, you're only going to have that for so long. And I don't know, like, Hunter seems smart enough to know that you're establishing superstars that are going to be legendary, generational, and that's something that they've leaned on regardless of who's been at the head of the company for decades.
Right. Totally. Now, as far as surprises, I'm going to touch on that. And Dre said something about Ronda. I'm assuming RR is Ronda Rousey.
Oh,
Or
God,
no.
no.
You said RR as in Royal Rumble.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
Yeah.
I was like,
I was
no.
about to say I don't want Ronda Rousey back.
No. We don't need bad reputation to hit.
I see Jade coming back. But
Yeah.
as far as surprises, and this is kind of in the air, of course, but I'd like to see it, would be AJ Lee. I think that'd be great.
Oh, yeah. That'd be awesome.
But that's just me. So, okay, Ladarius.
Wait, I thought he tossed to me. Okay, well, okay, I know what's going on.
He's eating.
Sorry, I had food in my mouth.
Listen, I don't know
Follow
what
the
goes.
flow of conversation. This is I have podcasted with you so many times. I know you can do this. Like, I really fucking believe in you.
At least somebody here believes in me, because somebody here doesn't. Now, I'm not going to say who, Jerry, but so to me, my theory is it's going to be a previous winner. That's my theory.
Okay.
I think they're going to go with someone who's already won it. So we're putting the conversation Charlotte Flair. We can put in, Charlotte Flair. I think, Lord, I'm blanking. Becky Lynch, Asuka, Bailey. To me, I believe a part of me feels that I don't want to give it away because I'm running a piece about it. But one name stands out to me, and that's Bianca Belair. Because Bianca stands out because we need closure on that storyline with who knocked over. And I've already said my theory. I've said it on this show. I've said it on when Tanya did our show. I just somehow believe Jade Cargill is going to impact the Royal Rumble in that regard. I think she's going to come back because it's the one storyline I felt they haven't talked about in like months. It's like it happened. It's kind of like, well, who shot JR? Like we got to keep waiting and see who shot. Like who? I've already said my theory, and I think if it ties into what I think is going to happen, I think Bianca's going to be involved to some capacity, and I think that's one name to look out for. Another name that kind of intrigued me, and it kind of sticks out. Listen, I'll go to Charlotte Flair. I've said this about Charlotte Flair. If you rank the four horsewomen, to me personally, I'd put her. I respect her accomplishments, but I would put her four. That's just me.
I hate this take. I hate it.
You'd put Sasha over Charlotte. Wow.
I would
Yes,
put her third.
but this is personal. I'm not saying. Listen. I respect her accomplishments. Like let's calm down. It's not like I'm saying.
No, you're
listen,
saying your personal favorite, who you like the most of the four.
exactly.
Like,
It's
yeah,
not like
right.
people on the internet. You got people on the internet right now talking about Patrick Mahomes is better than Tom Brady. I think my take's pretty okay. Okay, we have grown adult people say Patrick Mahomes is better. I think I'm good. I think I'm good in my take. Like it's a lesser of two evils take, but I think Bianca's a name to look out for. Like another name, I don't know if it's going to happen. I think Alexa Bliss is interesting because I'm curious to see what form of Alexa Bliss comes out. If we get kind of that heelish Alexa Bliss, I can see that too. Because here's the thing: there's an idea for me for who Tiffany Stratton's gonna face. I don't know who Rhea's gonna face at WrestleMania because you could go with a lot of different directions. A part of me wants Bianca versus Rhea because
I want Bianca versus Rhea so bad.
A part of me really wants that because we've been like I want it because whether it's injuries or anything like that, and it's never happened that way. But that's why I say Bianca's a name to look out for because I think that could play the whole story. I think it all kind of ties in together. So
well, she's also like, I mean, she's somebody who's gonna win a Rumble. Like,
exactly.
It's just about a matter of when. Like Bianca Belair is gonna win a Rumble. She's that kind of star to me. Like to me, it's like if when you look at it, it's like if you've got Rhea and Bailey and Charlotte and you've got all of these, that's the kind of caliber she is. She's just hasn't her being tied up in the tag teams has been great, and I've actually like loved it. But she's a singles superstar, and she's been like they have to break her back out of that at some point. She's a title contender, no matter what she's doing. So
yeah, because I think Bianca won it in 2021. I think she did. I'm not. I think it was between her and Rhea one year.
No, Bianca hasn't won a Rumble, has she?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, she. I just looked it up. 2021, she won.
Yeah, I think it was her and I remember
her and Rhea at the end.
It was her and Rhea at the end, and
not just that, but she got to wrestle Sasha at that Mania.
That's right. That's right. That was the iconic all black women main event.
Yeah,
and they cried.
See, that's how I remember because I said I knew Bianca won because that was my favorite Rumble. Period with her and Rhea at the end.
I would never question. Yeah, with you and Sasha and Bianca, I would never question your authority on that.
My authority can be questioned at all times.
Yeah. I do it all the time, but not in this case.
Exactly. It's like, are you sure about that? I'm like, listen, she's probably right. So I'm on lunch. It's dinner time. I don't care. But yeah, but those are my thoughts. So I keep a name out for Bianca to me because I really, really want Bianca versus Rhea. How we get there, I don't care. Let's just get there. But we need a conclusion on the whole Jade Cargill story before we can do any sort of progression.
Well, and that would close the 4-year cycle of the Rumble we just talked about. The Rhea, she lost there, and then they come back. Who knows?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, real quick, Craig over also said Molly Holly.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
You know what? I hope we see. Oh man, that's pretty good.
I mean, I wouldn't be upset.
I believe in you, there. This is one that I believe in it as much as I believe in, and he believes in Joe Henry a lot. So
I believe in Joe Henry.
Jerry, you could learn from that comment. That's what you can learn.
World Heavyweight Champion Joe Henry.
You got to believe in me. Hey, put me in the game, Jerry. Put me in the game, Jerry. Jerry, you want me on that wall, Jerry? You need me on that wall, Jerry.
Here are my surprises for the Rumble. We got AJ Lee, Roxanne, Trish Stratus, Lita, Michelle McCool, and Jordan Grace. That's John Brooks.
Yeah.
You got to watch out for Jordan Grace, another vote for. Alexa isn't going to be because reported bliss.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I read about that.
yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll believe when I see it.
yep. And this is another person backing me
I
up about
know.
yeah.
Oh, I know. I've got too many things
Alexis
in
is
my head.
okay. And then I believe in Joe Henry. Just remember that, Jared. Just remember that.
Yeah,
All right.
just believe.
Yeah, just believe.
Also, listen. Listen. I delete a comment. I've always preferred Lita over Trish. I don't
Me
know how people
too.
feel about. Yeah,
Oh
so
wow.
I actually put that out there, and people got really mad. So I'm just saying it on here.
I
Really?
prefer Lita over
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trish.
because
Yeah.
to me,
She was the
it's
wrestler.
No,
Lita
people
was
get mad about
prettier
that. I'm
too.
surprised.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
feel like
It's like
that's
when you say they're better. Like listen, I have nothing wrong with Trish's resume. Listen, I understand people being mad about the Charlotte Flair thing. I get it. I'll live with that. I'll live with
I
that.
was mad. I thought you were ranking them as wrestlers, I didn't realize it was just
No,
a
no, no,
personal
no, no. Like
preference
if
situation.
as people like no, like Charlotte could in that conversation with like Becky. I think Charlotte could be one or two. Like in terms of we're talking about accomplishment.
Okay, just wanted to clarify for the people. You were just it was your personal preference.
Yeah,
That's okay.
folks.
You're allowed to have those.
Listen, ignore my Twitter and TikTok handles. Ignore listen. Don't. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to read it.
The best. I will say this: the best technical wrestler of all the horsewomen is Bailey.
Yeah.
I will go
Listen,
down on that
me.
one because
Yeah,
she.
to me, Bailey like that match with her and was it Sasha with the NXT Brooklyn or was I think it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that sold me on Bailey just as much as it sold me on Sasha Banks.
And
So
yeah, I mean Charlotte's like a body guy, which is fine. Like that.
yeah, that's fine.
That you need that in the women's wrestling just as
Yeah,
much as
like
you need it in the men's.
all I'm conjecturing is that if I had a choice, I mean, if I'm like if we're ranked, I'm like accomplishments, she's top 2. I'm not going to dispute that, but once again,
Well, you
there's
can't. You can't even if you wanted to.
I mean, I could, but I choose not to. There you go.
All right. So I will say this: my women's surprises, I think, is going to be like we're going to definitely see Trish somewhere. I could see that one. I could definitely see Molly Holly. That would be cool. But honestly, I'm looking also to see Roxanne and Cora Jade, Zahara, Stephanie Backcourt, and Julia. I think those women, even Kalani Jordan, could actually even be in there. I think that'd be great because NXT Women's Division is always heating up. Uh, is he saying Medusa? I mean,
Yeah, you said Medusa
Yeah.
like a Lunger Blade.
you
Yeah,
probably could, but I would actually, at
I
that point, I would actually
mean,
push the NXT ones. I really would. I think there are a lot of
Oh
talent
yes,
in NXT.
yes, Dre,
yes.
yes.
Yeah, Victoria. Now
By
that
the
I
way, put her in the Hall of Fame. I don't know what we're doing here. Why are we screwing around with this, Hunter? Like the Widow's Peak. Like, listen, she literally scared. Like, no,
just
put her in.
just the music alone, she
Yeah,
should be in. Period.
and then like, listen, I'm not mean to intrude, but like, that's a Hall of Famer. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
put it that way. I'll
I'm
be
with
quiet now. There you go.
you're not. Please, like I'm gonna be mad at you for speaking your mind.
Yeah, I'm just going back to my Dr Pepper. Just man,
Would you stop? All right, so Rumble. So those are my surprises. I think, and then of course I think Jordan Grace is going to be one of those dark horses, and I still have a feeling it's either her. I could see Io. I could see. Um, I want Bianca to win, but the problem I have is what Ladarius just said, where we still don't have a resolution. And if you don't have a resolution, you got to keep this story either going or you need to have a major moment where we go, what just happened? And that I think will happen with Jade and Bianca. And then we'll see what happens afterwards. Um, but those are my women. I'm thinking, yeah, I do also think Charlotte, but the only reason I'm gonna be crazy off the box thinking, I'm gonna say Liv Morgan. She's been in the last two, and for them to bring that up made me go, huh? She's had an amazing year, 2024. I It wouldn't surprise me if
No, it
she,
wouldn't surprise me.
yeah, would not
yeah.
surprise me if she won it. Like she surprised everybody.
Yeah.
Um, some people would hate it, some people would lose their minds, internet. But personally, it to me, I think she actually has a really good spot that could be done.
Yeah.
Um, but then again, I'm also the same guy that wants her and Raquel to win the tag titles so that we can really find out what's going on with the Bianca thing. So
I already solved the case. It's fine.
yeah, I know. Well, me and you
Yeah,
both
listen,
feel the same way.
I watch a lot of Columbo and Murder She Wrote. I think I'm.
I've watched enough CSI. It's like this. I've watched wrestling so long, I'll see an angle and I'll go, huh, I remember seeing that back in the day. And it's like
Yeah.
I've done it to Jerry. I've done it to Ladarius. It's like, yeah, we could do it back like this. When did that happen? Oh, back
Yeah.
in '86,
Yeah.
WCW.
And I go. We'll be right back after these commercials. And
Yeah.
then that's what I-
After a 45-minute explanation, they just go, wow, you need help. So yeah. All right. So the WWE title and the Winged Eagle are going to be hung over the ring. Shawn Michaels super kicked Kevin Owens and took the rings and even broke his neck, apparently. That's what the Mortal Kombat video told me. By the way, I died laughing when Kevin Owens kissed that belt in front of Shawn because all I could think about is the freaking meme that people were putting up.
Yeah.
The Playgirl shoot.
And then I thought about the time Shawn's like posts a picture of this on his wall, and someone goes, "Oh, I would love to get with the guy that looks like that." And Shawn goes, "Hey," and the person goes, "Who the hell are you?" He goes, "I'm that guy." And I'm going, "Oh God, Shawn, don't do that. That's wrong." So, all right, Cody versus KO. We kind of have an idea, but yet, this is where you could get those. We could get like a spur of the moment. They change their mind, flip the coin. Let's flip the script. Let's throw people off the scent. And then we got this Sami Zayn angle now that really kicked up to another level, which was with Sami Zayn haluva kicking Cody Rhodes last night. What are y'all thinking? And let's go from there. Let's see. Go ahead, Miss Tanya.
Yeah, so there's a lot of angles that are happening at once, which I like. They do this especially with Cody because my running theory about Cody is that he needs a bunch of other people to help him sell his story. Like he just simply can't be the head of his own story ever. So I'm glad they're doing that for him. It's working out really well for him. Love that.
He's that guy that wants everyone involved, it looks like.
Yeah, that's because they cut the promos for him and he just responds. So the thing about but I actually do kind of like angry, like pissy Cody. I'm actually down. Ladarius knows I have a love-hate relationship with the entire Cody run since he's come back, but I like what's going on right now. That's all to say. I like the fact that they've angled in both Sami Zayn with KO and Punk with Cody, because now it sort of gives us an angle of like not quite knowing not only what's going to happen in that match, but then also in the men's rumble, because the men's rumble in some way, shape, or form has to tie in to Cody because everything does. So I personally think the whole thing with him stealing the title is weird. I haven't really quite been able to buy into it, but I just think KO can do no wrong, really. He's so entertaining to me. I just don't really know what the point of any of this is, except to set up some match interference and some drama and some chaos. And that's fine. That's totally cool. I don't know that the results of the match are going to be definitive. That's kind of my feeling is that like, however the match goes, we're not going to have some resolution about the title belts, or if we do, it's just Cody somehow gets it back and that's whatever. It's more about what happens in the match. And I feel like that's going to have to depend on what happens in the men's rumble in some ways. So I don't know. Like I feel like the men's rumble match has to happen first before that, so that I don't know how they're going to do the card. Like sometimes they put it as the main event, sometimes they don't, whatever. Do you guys know if they're going to make that the main event or not, or?
It's probably going to be the men's rumble more than
Yeah,
likely.
the men's rumble, I think, is going to main event this thing.
See, that's why. So I don't like that because unless there's like, I don't want this to be some clean match where it's just like there's there's a resolution, someone gets the belt and that's whatever. So I don't know. I want to know what happened in the rumble first, personally.
Right. No, I agree.
I do too, but I just think, especially with so much that's in the Rumble with all the competitors, and they keep saying a star-studded Rumble, the likes of 1992, and I've seen that one. And I'm gonna go here. You kind of want that as your main event. You kind of do. Just that moment, whoever wins it. I mean, I got
I
some
don't
ideas
trust.
that
I
might.
don't trust that. I don't trust the star-studded. That's what I worry about. Is because I feel like I've had a
I got
couple of things, a couple of times in the past where they've been like, "You have no idea who's coming out," and it's like it's Brock Lesnar, and you're like, "Okay,
Yeah.
wow, holy moly!" So I
it's
mean,
good
yeah, it's probably
zero.
going to be Cena and The Rock and whatever. Yeah, okay. Is that star-studded or is that like the most obvious thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
Long.
So this is what I would do. And this is me being in the business and understanding as far as booking. I would do the women's rumble first, the tag match second, the men's rumble, and then the heavyweight title match.
Yes,
That's just
I
me.
love that's what I'm talking about.
That's just me as far as because if you think about it, you have the men's rumble before your title match. Whoever wins that rumble, whoever wins that title match could come out, get
Yes,
face to face. There's your main event set up right there.
this is what I'm talking about. This Jerry gets it.
Well,
This
I've
is
only been
that's
wrestling for
exactly what
I
I
get
16
it.
do.
years.
I understand. Man, I felt called
um,
out there.
but as far as Cody and Kevin's match goes, I'm kind of torn on who I want to win this, and that's me being a fan of both guys. As far as Kevin's indie work and his WWE work, and then Cody, WWE and New Japan and all that good stuff, Bullet Club and whatnot. So I'm kind of torn on who wins. But if they are gonna add the interferences with Sammy or Punk or whoever, that needs to be main event.
Laserius?
Oh, you talking to me? I couldn't
Yeah,
hear
you.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know who I am. I'm just asking you. I'm asking too many questions this show. Now, listen, I think the way Jerry has talked about booking it makes sense. Given, like I said, I have a theory about the men's rumble, and I have three names in particular. But I think as far as this match goes, I think what's interesting is going to be like I think the X factors is going to definitely be Sami Zayn. And I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Listen, I'm just to be honest, I'm waiting on Randy Orton. That's who I'm waiting on because I think that's the guy that's going to tie it kind of together to kind of see how we progress. Because I think I don't know. I don't know if he's going to show up at the Rumble or not. But what I do know is, going back as far as the match is concerned, a part of me wouldn't mind seeing KO, but they're going to give it to Cody. And listen, I understand why. Because just because we understand doesn't mean you have to agree with it. Is what I always say. Because you understand, like, okay, oh yeah, you understand, like, I don't necessarily, but like I said, I think there's a path there for Cody. If, should he retain? Listen, I think Kevin as a heel is always great. Like the whole belt thing, it's part curious and part hilarious to me. But I'd give it to. I think it's going to be a lot of people involved in it, especially Sammy. I think Sammy's the guy that may, because remember what KO told Sammy's like, it'd be great to see if you come out there and help me. So would that be the moment that maybe Sammy comes in and maybe does something there? Because we saw the way how he looked at how he talked to Cody on Raw yesterday. So I think they're going to give it to Cody, but expect a lot of people to coming in, and I think that's why how you book the men's Royal Rumble makes a lot more sense because I was never one of the idea to kind of book it at the end. You kind of book it earlier and then kind of do, if you're having a men's title match, do it there because now because you can set it up right there. And I think how Triple H goes about booking this card makes a difference. If he puts this last, I think Cody and then whoever wins the Rumble may come out and, hopefully they have the WrestleMania sign there to point to. I'm assuming it will be
Oh,
there.
they will. They will.
Yeah.
Got to.
God
They
bless
gotta
the
set
people.
the building on fire.
Honestly, surprised it wasn't there this Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work to put it up. I wouldn't do it. Like, I'm clumsy. I wouldn't do it. So,
I mean, it is Atlanta. We don't know what success looks like, so we didn't want to put something.
you
Oh,
see,
No.
listen,
Atlanta by itself, minus the success.
we could have went the whole show without that. But yeah,
Hey, I'm not from Atlanta. I'm good.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
You're lucky.
Angels over there.
and I guess that's my time. I guess that's
All right. Well, look. Let me just put it like this: the only reason I'm saying the Rumble's going to be last is so that you can do that picture with the Rumble sign, fireworks, and not just that, but remember, it's also part of that intrigue of what champion they're going to pick, and do they, are they going to pick Cody? Are they going to pick Gunther? Are we going to wait it out for a little bit? There's also some intrigue there, and I believe there is going to be some, and that's why I say I would put the men's Rumble last. I understand what everyone's saying, and it makes sense. I just have this feeling that with Hunter, who likes to stretch things out, that is something he's thinking of is let's keep it where the person knows, but no one else. And then we get them to come on not on Netflix to watch us. We get them to watch us on USA for 3 hours, and go from there. Um, I'm going to keep saying it's Cody. Now, I wish Kevin would have won the title maybe initially, like maybe at Saturday Night Main Event when they went at it, um, just to kind of throw people off. But now, because we're so close, I don't know how we play off what happens next. And me personally, I like Cody's run. What I hate about it isn't the fact that he's had good opponents. I was telling this to Ladarius the other day. He's had good opponents. It's just the story sucked. And when you come off of the Bloodline storyline, that has been cooking for over years, time frame, people involved. And now you get out of that. Now you're in this line of you're the champ, and you kind of have to now forge your own story with these people. And that's where I can understand where people think Cody may be a little lax or this, that. I think it's the way it's gone. I think the matches itself was good. Now, does Cody need to turn heel? I don't know just yet. I would hold on. I wouldn't do it now, but I would do it later on after Mania. Kind of the madness of it, because of what CM Punk said. And I love, by the way, if you all ain't saw that promo between Punk, Cody, last night on Raw, I don't know what you're missing.
It was really good.
Oh, it was such good shit. It really was. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not trying to quote that guy, but that was good stuff. But oh my god, it was amazing. And I love the vocabulary of, yeah, I'm your friend. So you're my friend. Then tell me what's next. And I love that part because it was such a way to open the door for everyone to see because when you see Cody and Punk together, you think two different dudes when really they're almost they're reciprocal of each other. And Cody has learned a lot from Punk, so it wasn't like Punk and it's not like Cena and Punk where opposites. But Punk and Cody, it's like a different way, and it's just so cool to see those two. And Punk, oh my god, I've been loving what Punk's doing. I ain't gonna lie.
He's got his fingers in everything right now.
Oh,
CM Punk
it
does.
is.
So it really feels like this entire PLE, like honestly, kind of revolves a lot around what CM Punk is going to do more than
Yeah,
anybody
and
else.
I'm gonna go here. I love it because not just that, he's made Sami Zayn important. He's making Drew McIntyre important again. He's making Seth Rollins important. He's making Everybody. Hell, when he threw Hulk Hogan's name in, people were going, "Oh God, can we just see it, just so we can see him throw him over?" But again, you want to see Punk do something because when Punk says it, you believe it. He can. And but this is about Cody and Kevin. These two are good together. They really are. Kevin is a freak. When they say prize fighter, he means it. That is perfect to describe him. And then for Zayn, I think honestly the best thing's going to happen. Look, you, to me, we're going to see Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. They have never wrestled each other at Mania,
Yeah.
and that will be something they would like to check off the old bucket list. And I'm going to go here. This KO messing with the way Sammy's been going, I would love to see it. I think it would be excellent. It would rival what they did in Ring of Honor. And I will say that. I don't care. I don't have a problem making people aggravated with that. So I see Cody winning. I see Randy Orton showing up, but I think Randy Orton's showing up at the Rumble. And I think Randy's going to I'll finish what I'm going to say, but I like what Randy's doing. I think we're going to find out a lot from Randy here in a bit. So you know what, we're already rolling into it. Let's talk about it. The Men's Rumble. Look, the storylines are rich. If you want to bring up the promo between um, Gunther, Seth, and Logan Paul of all people, who got the most. Hold on. Although I do not think Logan Paul could get more booed than Hogan could, but he would try. But maybe he just hug Hogan and then there you go. But that way we started with that, and then we ended with Punk and Cody. We could talk about that. What do y'all think about this Men's Rumble? I think the most story-driven Rumble we've ever had in quite some time. So
100%. It's 100% the most storylines going into a Rumble that I can remember. Part of it is because for the last few years, like the Bloodline and Cody were so dominant in just like the main WrestleMania storylines that we kind of understood exactly where things were going. Now there's several different matchups. There's several different ways things could go. And Punk's weird, IOU with Paul Heyman in regards to something that probably has to do with Roman Reigns is also hovering over everything on top of what we already talked about, that CM Punk has his fingers and everything. We know there's like the Cena of it all, the Randy coming back of it all. Jey Uso hasn't even been mentioned. Jey Uso's been on an absolute heater. And, there's about 17 different ways this Rumble could end that would not shock me, which is nice, but also it does very much feel to me personally like they're leading everything up to CM Punk versus whoever shows up of the legends, right? Like whichever legend you want to pair him with, that's the surprise return or quote unquote the surprise return. Like that kind of feels like where things are at. That's not necessarily what I want or even think needs to happen. I don't think CM Punk needs to win the Rumble. And they do that sometimes where it's like, you don't need, like Cody didn't need to win the Rumble. I don't think CM Punk would need to win the Rumble. I just am worried that that's what they're going to do. I've been riding for Jey Uso for so long at this point that it feels like I'm just I've been doing it for like years now. But that's I don't know. I just want to see him in a title match at WrestleMania. I don't know how they make it work. That's just like my Ladarius moment of just saying what I like and want versus what I actually think is going to happen. But as far as like it I know a lot of people think it's going to come down to Punk and Cena. I don't know. That's fine. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think CM Punk needs to win the Rumble. I think we could have a much better surprise winner in terms of not a surprise in terms of like who's relevant, because they're all pretty relevant, but in terms of not being the most obvious thing, because you can put CM Punk in anywhere in WrestleMania and he'll be fine. I don't know what you guys think. I think they're still going to do it anyway, but that's just me.
Yeah, Um, so this is I know it's gonna happen, but I don't want it to. Would be Cena. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And as far as Punk, yeah, Punk doesn't need it. So I mean, it's whatever. As far as people coming in, I would, and this is off the wall, off my head. This is what I would do. You got the partnership with TNA, might as well use it. Joe Henry, one of the Hardys, if not both.
Ooh, a
Um,
Hardy. That would be
yeah.
awesome.
Josh Alexander, I see him coming in because he quit TNA. Um, Eric Young, I mean, he's already been in WWE. Why not? But that's just me thinking of TNA people that could come into the Rumble and it be a good pop. Um, Orton returning would be great. Orton winning would be even better. But that's just me. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I'd be down with Randy Orton winning. I'm kind of a sucker for like one last hurrah, and again, just like with AJ, it feels like we're very close to the end. Like, let's just
Yeah.
give us what we want. All these storylines are so rich; they can all hold on their own, and that's a unique situation to be in. So you can kind of like just pigeonhole a legend into that winnings without a ton of reverberation through WrestleMania. It's not going to as far as I'm concerned, it's not going to affect the quality of WrestleMania with that many great storylines on the men's side.
I know. I'm gonna talk. Jesus, Jerry. Jesus.
Talk faster.
I didn't know it was my turn. Not gonna get angry.
Sorry, I
I'll,
had rid of my mouth.
no, it wasn't you. I know. I know. I'll just be short with it because I want to take up. I know Tanya's time, but I just think the three people that I personally have, it's kind of like it revolves around the storylines. I think Jey Uso, to me, after watching, I'm like, that would make a lot of sense. I think I like Jey Uso. Listen, CM Punk doesn't need it to win necessarily. I don't like he's going to be at WrestleMania in some capacity anyway, because I go back to the whole promise thing that that's mentioned. That's always stuck in my head. I think that's something going to be tied in. And listen, it may not be the sexiest pick here, but a part of me just like, I don't know if it was Paul Heyman just convincing me, because he's very good at doing that. When he did like the 29 versus 1, like I'm like, and it made me think about Roman Reigns a little bit. Like, Roman Reigns doesn't necessarily need it either, but I think it's going to be, to me, I think it's those three guys, and I think Cena. I think there's a better match for Cena at WrestleMania. To me, as much as I want him to win another, going to singles run or whatever, I don't need it. I don't think he needs it. He's already a Hall of Famer. So I'm okay with him not winning it, as much as I love Cena. I think Cena, you put Cena on the Mount Rushmore, so I don't think he necessarily needs it. But like I said, the three guys for me, it's Roman Reigns. I think in order, I think it's Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and CM Punk. Those are my three.
It just feels like CM Punk's not going to let Roman win it. That's kind of the whole thing that it feels like.
Yeah, and that's why I say it's going to be one of those. I think that's going to. I think, yeah. If I can talk, that'd be great. I think that's what it kind of boils down to. I think somehow I kind of feel Roman and CM Punk are going to kind of interact. So that's why I kind of put them kind of like 1-2, because to Tanya's point, I think one's going to prevent the other from winning. So that's my order.
Real quick, I like this. Roman needs to win the Rumble. It's the only way the favor storyline makes sense. Roman wins, challenges Cody. Punk inserts himself using the favor. So
yeah, see that's
yeah.
like I say, that's why I say the favor lingers.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I lean toward Roman a little bit over Punk, because of the favor.
Yeah.
Well,
because
Roman winning it would also just be sick. Like,
Yeah.
like either way, like to me, my mind, like I said, maybe it was Paul Heyman just being convincing like he is, but I'm like, you know what? Roman Reigns winning in a year where there's a whole lot of storylines, where a whole different directions, like a branches on a tree you could go to. This would not be the worst one to go to.
I just don't. I will say this. I don't know, and this will be the last thing I say before I go. I'll hear what you guys think, and then I'll go. But like, I don't understand really the. So let's say Roman does win it, and Punk says, "All right, I'm cashing in my favor." This isn't Money in the Bank. Like, Paul Heyman can't decide what Roman's going to do. Like there's something about it that just I realize that there's ways that he could manipulate Paul Heyman into helping him out, but it doesn't feel like he could outright get Paul Heyman to either convince Roman to give up a title or convince somebody else to take away the Royal Rumble title. You can't undermine it in that way, or the
Yeah.
Rumble wins. So I'm like trying to figure out, to me that just feels like almost like you're asking too much of, like Paul has to do something shady and underhanded that screws Roman over somehow, not some outright move where he's like, oh, well, actually Punk's in the match now, I took you out of it. Like Roman's wouldn't let that happen. There's like nothing about his character that would let him. He'd have to be screwed over secretly somehow.
I mean, look, I just highlighted the comment. That's what I was doing. Number one. Uh, I don't know how you would pull that off. That's my question. I'm kind of like you in that regard, because basically it's like this. You were basically telling Paul Heyman you have to now become Punk's advocate and not Roman's to do that.
And you have to have the power
Yeah.
to insert him into a match that Roman has already
Mhm.
claimed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how that would work. I'm not saying it can't. I'm just trying to
I mean,
figure out,
things
because like
look,
that would require Hunter, really.
well, again, I could go back on history and say when a certain man won a chance at the Rumble and he won the Rumble, he had a choice. He was going to go with Triple H, and Shawn Michaels super kicked him and signed his name in there. And there we had Triple H, HBK, and Mystery Man, because we can't say his name because he might come back and go after everyone. But anyway, CB, if you need to know.
Chris Benoit.
Yeah. God dang it, you
I'll
don't
say it. I'll say it. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's a hell of a wrestler.
Gonna get me hurt.
He
So
was a hell of a wrestler. I'm not afraid.
I will say this. Let me go through my crazy list in my head at Rumble. I believe there are some guys that's gonna win, but number one, John Cena. I love this man. I am a Cena fan, Cena-holic. I had the shirts, I had hats. I dressed up as Cena as I went to WrestleMania. So I am that kind of fan. Now, I think the best thing for Cena to do is lose. And I believe Logan Paul needs to throw his butt over. Logan Paul versus John Cena at WrestleMania needs to happen. We need the story of John Cena getting the win. Because that, before you can even tell the story of 18, you need him to win a match. Because he's brought that up. All right. So there's Cena. You don't have to worry about Cena. Don't worry about a title picture. It doesn't make sense right now. I think Punk, I just have this feeling that him and Seth Rollins are destined to do this. I mean, like Seth is going to try to be the reason he loses. Um, and of course, that may be Seth's downfall, or we have a Bret Hart moment where, Punk throws Seth, but no one sees it, and then Seth eliminates Punk, and then, we have Punk going batshit. I think no, you got to tell a story of Cena finally winning the match, and that's why
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Craig, but I'll say it. Cena loses cleanly to Logan in any one-on-one. Okay, I see what you're saying. My bad, bud. I misread that. I apologize. And then I got triple threat: Roman versus Cody, Punk night 2. I will say this: Punk is pushing for night 2 main event. I don't think it's going to be a day 1 main event. I don't know
No.
about y'all. Maybe we get a point where he gets a match where, if he's even in night 2 WrestleMania main event. But again, I don't know how we're going to get there. My winner is going to be Randy Orton. I just have this. It's either Randy or The Rock. And The Rock is going to come at 31, and he's going to throw Roman Reigns out. So we either get Rock and Roman going at it, or Rock and Cody. I'm just going to throw it out there because that's been something people have said. I can see it. Rock even throwing Cena, but again, I think the best.
It would
thing
feel
to do is-
weird to have yeah, you'd have to have Cena and The Rock not in there at the same time.
Yeah, but
Or
I would. But honestly,
then
what I would do though, because the reason why I would have Logan Paul throw over Cena is because there's your WrestleMania match. You would
yeah.
find
Yeah.
you can have because look, Logan Paul wants to trump everything. And then if he can drive Cena nuts, he can get it to where, hey, Cena just looks and goes, this retirement tour, I'll put it on the line. I just want to get you one-on-one. I guess, you could do
I'm
something.
down with a Logan Paul Cena match for sure. I feel like that makes a ton of sense for him to win
Oh, God.
for a match that he could win he could win any match really and be over, but like that, it's
Now,
perfect. It's like the ultimate number one face dude of all time
Yeah.
at this point, and the dude we hate. It's perfect.
And not only that, I will say this. I am intrigued what a Gunther Logan Paul match would be. I am intrigued.
Fair enough.
Painful.
I can't think. I can't.
Very painful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I really believe Gunther would have a field day hurting this man, but I would watch it.
Oh, I'd love to watch that. I'd love to see that go down.
I
Guys, I'm going to clock out, but thank you so much for having me on.
well, please plug your stuff that you're a part of, so people can find you and look you up. And hopefully, when we get close to WrestleMania, we can actually have you on, and we can even do WrestleMania chat.
I would love that. Yeah, I'm always down to chat. That'd be amazing. I'm at Tiny Ray Fox on every single social media platform. Super easy to find. TikTok, Instagram, doing a lot of content over there. YouTube, and my podcast, the Almost Shameless podcast with Tiny Ray Fox, is relaunching shortly. But the feeds all exist, so you can follow it wherever you have your podcasts, and you'll get the new episodes when they drop.
Awesome.
I just want to say before she goes. It's a great podcast. I was actually lucky to be on the podcast. So she's
There's
amazing.
a couple of Darius episodes, I think, on there. Yeah.
So, she's absolutely amazing. And like I say, I just thank you so much for coming on here. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you,
Really
you guys.
appreciate it.
Yep.
This was great.
Anytime.
And I'll be sure to check out the rest of the chat once I'm back later on. I'll see what the rest of you guys what you guys all went on about, and well, maybe I'll troll you on Twitter or something.
We got a whole lot of fantasy bookers here. We got people that want to book the whole show. So
wait. There's more show after this? I mean, my contract said when Tanya left, I left. Wait, that's what it said.
All right, bye guys.
We gotta go.
All right, Tanya, thank you so much.
Take care, hon. It's great.
Oh my God.
Whoa,
God damn.
Jesus.
Man, I just saw that myself, guys. Hold on.
Jesus.
There we go.
What
I
the
know.
hell are you doing?
What was it? I had it. I thought I had it on the right setting, and then when she
My
left,
God, it's like
all three
I already
put our
like I
faces
have to
together.
fit my fro in this circle as is. Now it's just my forehead looks like 1,000. Like it's like when you turn the microscope like on times 1,000, and this is what we got.
I hope you all enjoyed. She is amazing. Love her content on Instagram and also on Twitter. Find her at Tanya Ray Fox. She is really good and really engaging. So, man, gotta have her on, especially for Mania season. And maybe we can have a Corey Graves versus Pat McAfee match. Anyway, because I'm sick and tired of seeing that boy. Poor Corey. Anyway. Oh, that was my obligatory shot at Pat McAfee. And yes, I do not like him. I mean, look, tell me. Okay, guys, you know those guys.
I will even say that was kind of bullshitty and kind of a fuck you moment right there.
Which one?
That them doing that to Corey.
Yeah, and then not just okay.
Even I will say that. And I like Pat. I know you don't, but I do. I enjoy. I think he's hilarious. But that was a big fuck you moment and shitty.
Yeah, I can't. We talked about it, and it's just look. My thing. It's like this. When you listen to commentary, You want a pro and an antagonist
Yeah.
calling your match because you do not want to sound like two frat boys watching something. And that's what I get when it's Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. And this time, it was at a point I was ready. I muted the TV for quite a bit of time, especially for Jey Uso. And I hate to do that because I wanted to hear what he had to say. But I'm sorry. And then Michael Cole trying to introduce the rap artist. At least he
Quavo.
introduced them properly versus some guy on the internet earlier today who was like, and Quabo. I'm like, oh God,
It's
it's Quavo.
Quavo.
And Adi, I'm like, no, it's Yachty. I'm like, oh God, would y'all stop? It's like, you know what? Just say rap star, okay? You don't have to try to say the name. We know. And yeah, and Atlanta has all of those folks, by the way. WWE did Corey Dirty as F, and then we got Gray Pat's thing happens all over. It's all name draw. It's like, yeah, I agree. I think, but you got to remember, Corey carried. At one point, he was doing both
Yeah.
shows and doing both roles. And let me explain: doing commentary is hard. Having to play both roles harder because you don't want to come off like you don't know what you're talking about, and where the other one speaks, you want to kind of carry what you think and make that other person kind of get the people behind them.
All right.
And I thought Corey did a great job. Um, and look, the commentary team, if you all would like to know, is going to be Wade Barrett, Michael Cole, and Pat McAfee. So 2 of the 3 will be Yeaton, as Wade Barrett needs to look at them, judge them.
Barrett's gonna be judging the fuck
Oh,
out
God.
of him.
Look, I will say this.
Barrett is gonna be the heel of heels.
Yes, and not only that, I got to tell you, y'all, I love it when Jesse Ventura is with Pat McAfee because he, in his old age, and yes, he's off on a lot of stuff, but I got to go here. That man schooled freaking Pat on how to call a wrestling match. And it's like, dude, this is how you're supposed to sound. You can't. And someone said it best. And yes, I know we're a little on this, but I don't care. Pat needs to stick to sports. He doesn't come off as forced talking about sport. Yeah, no, football he talks amazingly. The business I'm not negotiating with Cody Dunn, but new company, new minute, want and draw. I get it. Yep. Got bad news. Drew dropped from Wade. I got some bad. Oh God, Wade does need to drop that at least once. Will Wade Barrett will participate in the Rumble? Oh,
That would be some shit right there.
that would be something if he eliminated Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be. Ooh.
Honestly, and this is just me being me, not really to shake up the Corey and thing again. I wish they just let Corey wrestle again.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, let's talk about it because Ladarius, I know you're there, but let's talk about it. JD McDonough. First of all, I know we cracked on that a little bit,
Oh God!
but my God, man,
Did you read what I sent you?
I didn't read all of it. I was in the middle driving.
Broken ribs, punctured lung,
Yes, I read that part and I went, ow.
and still wrestled 10 minutes,
So,
and
all right,
probably a concussion or
okay,
whiplash.
hold on. Let's just do it this way. So, folks, that you're still here, and I'm glad you are. If you're wondering, Jerry has wrestled. Now, I don't know if Jerry ever broken a rib or has Jerry
Yes.
ever had a punctured lung. I don't believe so.
No.
But I know this. He has fought after maybe gotten his head dinged up. So, aka
Multiple
concussed.
concussions.
Yeah.
Multiple
So,
times.
Jerry, go ahead. Tell us because that was fucking crazy and you would probably be the best person to kind of explain what all happened.
So for the people that didn't see it, JD Madonna did a springboard moonsault from the apron to the floor. on the announce table side of the ring. And if
Hmm.
you don't know, there's probably a good 2-3 foot
Clearance.
gap,
Yeah.
clearance gap right there, compared to the other side where the ramp is or the fans, whatever. So when he landed, he hit the back of his neck on the announce table and whiplashed his head. That alone is a concussion
Yeah.
on top of the whiplash, which is going to make you even worse. It is also reported that during the match he had broken several ribs and punctured a lung. Not sure if it's from that or the match itself or what, but he still managed to wrestle 10 minutes after all of that.
He was going against
that
the War Raiders too.
that's a
Remind
tough
you.
fucking Irishman.
Yes.
Um, Now, for any of you that have had concussions, but not wrestling wise, it's hard to remember your spots once you have a concussion. It's hard to remember what you just did after having a concussion. I've had 13. I know.
I wasn't gonna
um,
go there, but okay.
well, fuck it. Double digits. I'm proud of it. It's okay.
You wear like a jersey number.
Yeah, yeah. It's my jersey number 13. Lucky number. Um, So yes, anything dealing with concussions or broken ribs, anybody that's had fractured or broken ribs knows that it hurts to breathe, it hurts to move, it hurts to cough, it hurts to do everything. Now add a punctured lung into that, yeah, I don't even want to imagine.
That-
I can only imagine how bad that fucking hurt.
oh, I mean,
To
all right.
take the slams and the bumps and ribs alone, it's gonna kill him, but a lung being punctured on top of that, oof, I'm good.
Yeah. All right. So JD McDonough actually went on to his ex and or Twitter and posted, first off, thanks to everyone for the messages, the concerns. I'm good. I've got a couple of broken ribs, a punctured lung, so I'm going to be out for a couple of months. All things considered, it could be a lot worse, so I'm grateful for that. See you in a bit. This dude,
Yeah, I mean the force of that could have broke his neck.
yeah, I mean, he, we've seen moments in wrestling where you go, there ain't no way they're finishing this match. They need
Yeah,
to. We didn't
and
like
what
with
pissed
Triple H when he tore the quad off.
what pissed me off though, and this is me being a ranty asshole wrestler, a vet. The ref counted the pin instead of going to fucking check on JD.
Yeah,
Fuck the pin. Go make sure he's not dead laying on the outside of the ring.
that's funny. He actually tweeted too. So, yeah, because he said, so last night I looked directly into the eyes of a man that wouldn't stop for nothing. The pain, the fire, and the fight were all raging inside him. Then he got up and did this unreal. Love to JD McDonough. I look forward to when you return with passion. I'm with you. He should have at least checked on him. I mean, my
Yeah,
God.
you should have just said fuck the pin and went and checked on JD.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone would have had a problem with,
No,
because that thud
yeah,
alone, you could tell it shook not just Michael
because
but also Pat.
well, I
And
mean,
yeah,
even the guys in the ring looked over like, what the
oh, I know.
like Dom was looked scared,
Dom was just like, oh, I mean, look. So if
and I can only
anyone
imagine
deserves,
Eric and Ibar because I mean they know the broken neck deal. Like
yeah,
they just came back from it, both of them.
yeah. I mean and then okay, this drove me crazy. So Eric does that move where he throws and hits the knee and
Yeah.
kind of hits the back of the head. And I'm going, dude, the man's already probably
Well,
lost all his marbles.
he hits him in the back of the shoulders, but
Okay, well, I'm glad you told me that because at first I went, dear
yeah,
God,
he catches him like right here.
I mean, I know. I'm surprised too. I saw
It's the
that.
same with like a knee lift.
Yeah,
It's just the back of the shoulders.
and then, but yeah, he collapsed afterwards when he got to the thing, and
Hell, he didn't even make it a gorilla. He made it
no,
behind the LED board and collapsed.
yeah, and uh, yeah, I just
Which
think
that
that
doesn't happen often.
yeah, well, it doesn't. But the thing is, when something like that happens, you're just like going, wow,
But I'm just saying, like you knew it was serious once he collapsed back behind the LED board and didn't make it to gorilla.
yeah,
Because the last time that happened was Taker with Brock.
yeah. And of course, Triple H is seeing that, and
Yeah,
But I
I can
mean,
only
look,
imagine.
I will say this: you got to say Hunter at least takes care of his people.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Hunter
and
is
not trying.
ten
He's not
times
looking. He's
better
not
than
like
Vince when it
cuss.
comes
Yeah,
to
he's
taking
not
care of
cussing him for.
folks.
I mean, that was impressive. I mean, and I
Oh,
like I said,
I'm sure he got cussed out a little bit for continuing the
well, probably
match,
yes. I mean, he
but
probably got cussed out for continuing, but I don't
but
think. Well, then again, Hunter. If Hunter's fussing at him, but then people look at her and go, "Well, you continued with your torn quads. That's
yeah,
different."
yeah,
So, so again, that's kind of where the lore kind of messes up there.
oh yeah,
Well, I was hoping. Well, we're still waiting for
it's
Ladarius.
all right.
Yeah, but I gotta say, so were you excited about seeing Atlanta's favorite son showing up to Monday Night Raw?
I loved that whole bit.
I loved that they named Braun Breaker, A Town Down,
They
Cody
named
Rhodes, but they
everybody
did not
but
name Uncle Alex.
Zay. They named everybody but Zay. It was hilarious.
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah.
And then the skit during the match with his parents
Oh,
was great.
the parent skit was just great. I loved it. I thought that was hilarious. They just went over to the mom, or the dad's the first one. You suck.
Yeah. Hey, Ladarius is back.
Oh, awesome, Ladarius.
We
What?
were just talking about JD trying to kill himself.
Oh no, you guys were doing great, so I just stepped out for a little. And
Well, we wanted to get your take. What were you thinking when you saw the JD McDonough thing?
to be honest, I'm surprised the man finished the match because listen, I know I give a lot of grief to JD McDonough about the forehead and everything, but speaking,
Oh my God, Craig, come on.
Craig's my buddy. He can get away with that. But I recovered miraculously. So
He's going to finish the show, folks.
what happens is I took a nap, and that's what really happened. No, so it's funny that my job we have like a wrestle thing at our job, like a wrestle chat at our job, and someone brought it up, and I said in there like I hope he's okay. He's gonna be out a couple of months, I know, but it's just like I'm thinking, surely he's not gonna finish this. Like I understand, and it makes me, and I've said this on this show once, and I'll say it again. I've said it to Jerry, and I say it to anybody who goes in between those ropes. Like the sacrifices that wrestlers put on just for our entertainment. And I think a lot of fans don't understand that. And I think that was just another example of, oh, damn it, Craig, you're not gonna make me cry on this show. You're not gonna make me cry. You're not gonna make me cry.
Don't sell it. Don't sell it.
No sell. No sell. No sell.
But to go back to the point, I'll just be really quick because I apologize, I missed a proponents of time. It's just it just further emphasizes the impact, like what wrestlers do day in and day out. It's like we do it for you guys go out there and do it for entertainment, and like the fact that JD McDonough finished I'm like he had no business. He would have had every right in the world to say, I'm done.
Yeah.
But he didn't. And I think, it's just like with Dakota Kai's going to be out because she had suffered a concussion. Yeah, and it's like these injuries, and they go there and do it for us. And I think sometimes as fans, we lose sight of that, especially like those like who are in the deep in the IWC. I think we lose sight of, hey, these are wrestlers and these are people, and they're going sacrificing their bodies for our entertainment. Because the E in WWE literally means entertainment. So while people may, yeah, there's world wrestling, yeah, but it's entertainment at the end of the day, and now to me, like I said, I just hope he gets better because that was just scary to watch. I'm not gonna say it reminded me like the whole Biggie and Ridge Holland thing, but like it just like, man, it makes you like, whether you love or hate JD McDonough is superfluous. It's just that the fact that he had no business in the world finishing that match, and it's just
No.
like to throw in a football thing, like when Matthew Stafford, quarterback for the Rams, showed that he was playing hurt in that game versus the Eagles.
Yeah.
It's like he was hurt for weeks. Like it was ribs. It was like he said he broke. I remember the list of injuries off the top of my head, but the point is that when these athletes and these people, they do it for entertainment, and I think that's something that's a reminder that needs to be a reminder for folks, is that at the end of the day, JD McDonough, like I said, he was a professional. He's a hell of a worker, and he went up there and did it for us. He understood, like he didn't have to. Like I said, he had every excuse in the world. He could have said, "I'm done," because that was me. I'll be like, "No, I'm good. Take me to the." But like, I'll just put a button on this by saying this: it's a further appreciation for wrestlers, because at the end of the day, they go out there and wrestle hurt just like the football player does, just like the basketball. And here's the thing: what makes wrestling different, and I'll get off the high horse in a minute. It's like this. It's like, think about like the schedule these athletes do in the NBA. Sometimes it's like back to back. Like sometimes you're playing in Milwaukee one day, and then you're flying potentially down south to Dallas, or from New York to LA. And sometimes when you see, well, the players sit, these wrestlers, it's a
Same
continuous
thing.
thing. Like there's
Yeah.
no like, hey, can I?
Especially in the bigger promotions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So yeah, so I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I apologize.
Oh, you're
No, you're good.
But that's just that's what made me think about, like, Jay. It's just a reminder of the sacrifices these wrestlers make. And like I said, God bless him. I hope he gets better soon, because like I said, it was super hard to watch, because you could kind of pinpoint the moment when you knew, like, oh, that's something doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I don't care. You could be the average man, like, that didn't look good. And I said, the fact that he pushed through, I'm like, my guy, you didn't have to.
No.
Listen.
He pulled off a moonsault later.
And I'm like, you didn't have to do that. Like you punctured you punctured your lung.
Yeah.
What do you, like? You broke your rib. Like, you have, like, the moonsault is the one move. It's one of the probably couple moves you don't do, because literally you're exposing your ribs and your everything is getting exposed. You're
Jerry.
gonna literally land.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
You're
I
literally
mean,
gonna
I
land.
mean, I've been there, done that with broken and cracked ribs.
Yeah.
Swantons do not help.
So it's like that's the one move where you're literally exposing your whole self, and then you're
Yeah.
going in the air where it's 50-50 as it is when you're gonna hit or not.
Yeah.
And it's like, you didn't have to do it. And it's like I
That's
say,
the finish, pal. I gotta do it.
it's like listen, and I commend JD.
We call it a different finish.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, we gotta change up the car. We gotta change it up, pal.
Finger
Yeah, we're
poke.
calling it a different
Finger
finish.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Schoolboy pin. What? Just do it. Just do a Canadian destroyer in the match. Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. It makes sense
No
now.
one ever wins with the Canadian Destroyer. Just do it.
Just do it. It's either that or schoolboy pin. All right, fine. I apologize.
Oh,
But yeah, but those are my thoughts. So I won't take up too much time, but those are my thoughts.
well, now I can get you. Now that we got you back on track, because we really wanted to hear your thoughts on that. But also, what about Atlanta's favorite son? Um, we were just talking about, Mr. Xavier Woods. Even though we had to go to Braun Breaker, A-Town Down, and Cody, you did not get to Uncle Allen, by the way. Kathy, we need to talk.
Is that what? We'll be right
Wow.
back.
Technically, though, he's not from Atlanta, so
Yeah, he's from Gainesville, Atlanta, or Georgia, but still,
technically,
technically.
If we're being technical about it, where is I'm from Gainesville. Okay, fine. All right, fine. We're not gonna argue. Fine. Listen, it's just like when they said with Logan Paul, like he's from San Juan, Puerto Rico, by way of Cleveland. I'm like, timeout. You were born in Cleveland. That's not how it works. Like,
yeah.
I
Like-
wish we had Berto on just so he could rant on
Yeah,
that alone.
because that
I mean, even I think that's stupid.
because well, when I heard it, like and I'm like this. What are we doing? Like by way of, I'm like, do you what? That's like saying I was born in such and such city by way of the hospital. That's literally the same thing. Like you were born in Cleveland. Okay, just own it. Okay, the Miz, he owns it. Okay, you don't see from they say he's from Hollywood. We all know he's from Cleveland. It's like just own where you're from. That's the fine people of Puerto Rico
do not want you.
It's like, listen,
Orale.
but anyway, I'm sorry, I got off track. We were talking about what, Xavier Woods, or
Yeah,
we
the
talking,
New Day.
okay.
Yes,
with the family.
Listen. The funniest part to me is when he walks over and they start unzipping the brother was like that reminds me a lot of me. So he was unzipping the jacket like, I hope it's what I think it is. And sure enough, it's a New Day suck shirt. I'm like, and then the fact when they pan to Little Yachty going like, I'm like, did Little Yachty have to be there? No, but I'm glad he was.
No.
Like, did he? I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, I counted the reserved seats before the match. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I said Little Yachty. I'm like, and then Little Yachty just shows up and just goes, and I'm like, you know what? If anything, to me, that's added value. And
yes,
and to me, to me, it makes you forget, like, hey, there was an actual match going on. Like you may like, wait a minute, oh crap, I'm fighting Rey Mysterio. But it's like, the direction New Day is going is a lot better than the direction that I think we talked about months ago about them splitting up. No, making them heel is better.
Yeah.
It's a lot better. Like I don't know if I'm sold on the fighting in the pants. I'm not sure I'm there yet.
I'm just waiting for the new entrance music or something. They got to do something.
Yeah, they got to change the music.
And I'm pretty sure no rapper in Atlanta is going to help produce it. So they might have to go elsewhere.
I don't know. They might need to talk to Michael Cole and see if he could hook them up. Michael Cole knows all the rappers apparently. Because
you see, and that's another thing. Like, how does Cole have more rep than more people? I'm like, oh yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy Quavo. I'm like, time out.
So you're Spotify. I want to see your playlist now.
It's like, listen, let me stop. No, if I go to your playlist, Cole, and I just see like Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, like if you listen, my I'm willing to share my playlist. Mine's pretty diverse.
Yeah.
But Cole, I'm pretty sure if you have at least 5 songs between every rapper that was on that show, Cole, I will give you $100 right now. Because there's no way you on your off day and you're in the gym and you're
listening to fucking Quavo.
You're not listening to Quavo. You're not listening to Future. You're not listening to Mask Off. You're not doing none of that.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's like this. If he is, like, listen, no comment. But the point is, I just hope he takes out. Listen, I hope he uses the clean version, not the explicit version, because as we've learned, listen, that it's a dicey situation. But
and okay, I gotta go here. They had the nerve to show the WrestleMania with Michael Cole. Our WrestleMania, the WrestleMania I had to suffer through.
Oh, that was a great WrestleMania. What the hell are you talking about?
No, it was not a great WrestleMania.
You saw that?
Look. At least Quavo didn't come to the ring smoking a blunt.
Okay, that is also true too.
Like, oh, he has a belt. Thank God he didn't have holding something else in his hand. Like that.
Right. I'd much rather a belt than a blunt.
Yeah,
Oh.
you know, that should be a T-shirt. Belt over blood. like the greater than or equal to sign belt once. That's Nia,
I like this.
Nia Jax needs to sit.
So
Needs
Jay
that
was
sit
saying,
out power
or
driver.
Dre
TCU
here
does
was
his thing.
saying Nia Jax needs to use that sit out
Oh my
power driver that
Yeah.
Rikishi used to
So
use.
it was a sit out tune. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
He,
sit
he
down. Yeah,
draped
Yeah.
them and yeah.
you know,
I forget what it's
Or
actually called.
give it to Jimmy, Big Jim.
or listen, I love
Oh, speaking
Cole.
of Jimmy, I need to send you something.
Uh-oh.
He pointed to you,
love-
not to me. So he pointed.
Yeah. Or he pointed.
Yeah,
I
Gary
love,
sent stuff to me, but he said
Cole
I got to send it to you, C double.
Oh
Forget
no,
that
I'm
guy.
sending it. I'm sending it in
Forget
the
that
group
guy in the
chat.
corner wearing a Man of the Masses shirt, a Becky Lynch shirt. No, we're gonna send him to that.
I'm
guy.
sending it in the group chat. Calm down.
the Cole.
I'm not gonna calm down. That's the problem.
His mask was trash. Bring back the Cole. No, I do
Bring
not
it back.
want to call mine, and I do not want to ever relive that match. That match was hell on me. The only good part of that match was Stone Cold almost running over Jack Swagger. That was the only good part about it. And like I said, the best match of the whole show, well, there was actually a couple I could actually name. Cody versus Ray, that was a good one. And then also the one that I really liked was Randy Orton, CM Punk. And then my favorite was Triple H and Undertaker. Because at that time, Undertaker was going through, a Johnny Cash.
Yeah, y'all check that out. Don't say nothing. But
Yeah,
Brave.
but let's bring back the coal mine. Though. Let's not rule that out. Let's not rule that out.
Oh, sick.
right.
Oh, that's
hang on,
sick.
hang on. Let me see.
Nice.
Jerry sends a video. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know who this Jerry guy is, but I'll check it out.
Yeah, I promise it's not porn.
No, it's not. I mean, it's gear porn. But
Yeah, it's gear porn. Yes. Because we know you can always seduce Jerry with gear. Jerry, I have tights for you.
All right,
Oh, okay, what's up?
big Jerry. Yeah.
that's one set of many to come.
Oh,
Oh wait, you're gonna be wearing that?
No,
Okay.
a certain Uso is going to be wearing that.
Oh,
sick.
so Rikishi's gonna be wearing it. Gotcha. All right, good.
He might be number one then. That'd be hilarious if he was number one this year. I hope they don't put them in number one and number two again. The Usos.
I hope not.
And then because Rikishi, and then they just stop and put the shades back on and do the dance. That'd be
Yeah, and then the number three guy would be
Do that one year. Didn't they do that one year though? Like the Usos came out and then Kishi came out. They danced in the fucking ring in the Rumble or something.
No, they did that on a Raw.
Oh, this is a Raw.
Yeah.
I don't fucking remember.
All I know is I want to hear more stories of Taker playing dominoes with people after hearing the story with Big Show. That was cracking me up the other day. I got to hear. But yeah, so they got to show off Cole in the orange spandex. It just made me want to throw up. Ugh. Some things you don't want to remember. But yeah, so let's see. I know that happened. Are we so what the heck happened to Charlotte's face? No one has given me an answer yet. What in the blue hell happened to Charlotte's face?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Look, I can see where
what hair got hurt, not her face.
people go through changes all the time.
Bro.
Okay. Bro,
Let's go back to her first picture when
Listen.
she was in NXT.
Oh my God.
look.
They're not the same.
Look. I understand there could be a misconception of looks. Oh, let's see. Atlanta WrestleMania had Taker wearing that brown and mohawk. Yeah, good times.
Yeah, good times.
I want to see the new gear one of Uso will be wearing. Oh yeah, man, that looks tight. But yeah, man, I'll tell you, all right, Braun Breaker with the cut of all nights where he goes. Most of this Rumble is going to be guys over 40 and can't barely walk. What are they going to do with a genetic freak like me? And I'm going, Braun, just wear the chains, please. Just wear the chainmail, for God's sakes. Type into
Right.
the Big Papa Pump Energy. I mean, I tell you what happened to the Charbot's face. Let's all say it together. Plastic surgery. Bro. At this point, I bet you Andrades came home and he was like, Dynamito! Diablo! Y'all think I'm joking, but I am serious. That man was like, what happened to my wife? Rick, I don't remember her. Not her. I got the pictures.
And we see Jerry's logo, which is that's a
Jerry's
nice
right
logo.
back on it. So, all right. What do you think, man? Are we gonna get a Penta and Braun Breaker match? I mean,
I hope so.
if we get this for the Intercontinental title, do you belt Penta? And if you do you make it happen at Mania? Because if you do,
No, I got my camera off.
yeah, you do. Uh,
Oh no, I was talking
do
to
it
her.
because you know that's a middle finger to AEW. I'm sorry. I would love it. I'm not even gonna lie. But Penta versus Braun Breaker. Oh, you talk about
That's not
physicality. What do
happening.
y'all think? What do you think about Penta being in the Rumble? What do y'all think? Let's go with Darius.
Sorry, I was eating as well.
You're totally fine. You know, eating.
You know, to me, I wouldn't mind it, but you know, once again, like I say, in a lot of storylines. Like first of all, I love Penta in the Rumble. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I think to me when it comes to the IC championship, I just think there's a story to be because I really want a part of me feels that Sheamus is gonna complete the Grand Slam at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I feel that like whether Braun's still the champion or like I said, Ludwig Kaiser's still someone to kind of consider. But like given how close we are, like do you put the belt on Penta at the Rumble and do you do it? I think you can put a pin in that, John. I think that's not a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I think it's not a terrible idea. I think that's something that like
Just
moving forward. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jerry.
if you do that, please do not make Penta the leader of LWO.
No, dear God, no. Don't do that to him. We don't want those losers back. I
You
mean,
may
Zelina
continue.
is freed now, so she's not a part of that anymore.
Jerry, your thoughts. My time is up. Your thoughts, Jerry.
No, Darius.
I said you can continue.
No, go ahead, Jerry. I'm gonna eat. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Basically, I agree. I think Sheamus needs to finish, and Rumble would or not Rumble Mania or Rumble either or. Honestly, if you put the belt on Penta though, which I wouldn't be upset with, it needs to be a while before he loses it
Mm-hmm.
because he is still too new into WWE to kill him like that. Not saying it would kill his character, but it's just he's been there 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You don't need to put a title on him just to turn around and take it off of him.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Should the WWE merge the Winged Eagle and the WWE Championship as
yes and no.
Oh.
Yes
Go ahead,
and no.
and I got my view.
I say yes and no for the fact of I love that title, and I would like to see a new version of that title. And I hate the title that they have now with the big ass W. Honestly, I think they should have redid those titles just like they did the Raw titles.
Yeah.
And gave it more of a classic look. That is why I say yes and no.
Okay. I'm gonna say yes. I'm not even gonna say no. Because I don't see any drawbacks in doing this. You have now got people seeing that winged eagle, and you got people seeing that current belt. They see that the drastic,
Change
look.
over the history.
Yeah, and it's like, just do something creative with it. I mean,
Yeah.
Just do it.
Well, that's why I said like they could do like a new design like they did with the Raw title, and
Mhm.
just add the winged eagle in it.
Yeah. What say you, Ladarius, about that comment about should the Wing Eagle and the WWE title be merged together?
Um, honestly, I just really just prefer the wing belt in general.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to picture how you would merge it without it looking, because in my head it's morphed in a different way, and it may not look. If they pull it off the right way, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, at least test some designs to see like what works, because the wing belt, it brings back the nostalgia, it brings back memory. You bring it to the current. Like, remember, like with HBK, Stone, we remember all those guys holding those wing belts. If you do it the right way, yes. But if you're just gonna just slap some wings on the current version of the belt, like, no, thank you. But if you kind of put in the work to do it, absolutely. It just
Yes.
depends on them putting the time. And
Dre,
of course, Dre will get
if
some.
they do it, we're gonna be the first thing we'll do is just say, look, this was done. Dre wanted this, and he made
Yeah,
it happen, and they
and they'll
listened to
probably they'll send them a T-shirt. That's what's going to
you.
probably happen. Hey,
Or
thanks.
no, no, no.
Thanks for,
Then Triple H will do a photocop picture of you, and he'll just put you in the where his fingers point.
like, hey, you're a good guy, kid. Thanks,
Good
Dre.
guy. I like this guy.
Rumble.
I will say this. I'm not object to Penta versus Braun Breaker. I will not say no to that. But I'm with you guys. I think the story is still Sheamus. And remember, we're going to the Rumble. So Braun Breaker's in. So you know Sheamus is in too. By the way, Penta's 39, just if anyone wants to know. So my thing is this. I can see where maybe Braun is, he sees Penta, he's gonna, go after him, and Sheamus eliminates Braun Breaker. So there could be that moment. You eliminate the champ. You're the reason he's lost. He goes off. He wants to go after you. So that could be something that happens. Plus merging the titles fully transition to WWE from that. Yeah, I'm with you, man. From the PC era. Whew. And look, my thing is that WWE title, when The Rock brought it out and it looked like a damn Super Bowl ring, an oversized Super Bowl ring, it was cool at that time, but then it's like, come on, come up with something different. Just modify it some bits, not just put a different color behind it. But that's like I said, that's just my take on that.
I'll be right back.
Go ahead, brother. We talked about. Oh, actually, we didn't talk about that match with Sammy, but I'm trying to pull up all the reviews. By the way, Netflix is doing Raw is on Netflix is doing very well. They're they're averaging a high volume of people to watch. So we got Gunther, did that, talked about JD almost killing himself. Jay Uso believing that he could do it. What was your thoughts about Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez beating Bianca and Naomi? Various.
Um,
It was a non-title match too.
yeah. I think what we're going to probably get is, I think you mentioned it earlier in the show. I think them getting tag team champions would make sense, because like that's the second time in a row Liv Morgan has got the pin. She got the pin over Bianca, and I think this time she got the pin on Naomi. So I think to me, I just need the conclusion of the whole Jade storyline, because those tag belts, I'm not gonna say they're being held up because they're defending them tonight on NXT against Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see what happens tonight, because as far as the match goes, I'm not surprised, because Liv and Raquel just work great as a team. And one of
Yeah.
the problems that I think that I brought up with these women's tag titles, that having enough tag teams, and I think now you're in a good position that you have a sufficient amount of women's tag teams to have more competition. And I think listen, that makes a lot of sense. Liv and Raquel makes sense. You still got Alba Fire, Isla Dawn out there, and so But I wouldn't be shocked if we get Liv and Raquel versus whomever potentially at WrestleMania for the tag belts if they don't win them before that.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think honestly, I want to say I don't what because honestly, I would what I would do is have them lose the belts before this actually gets settled. But then again, losing the belts could also play a big key in getting this settled. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So
It's quite the dichotomy where, like, if you want the storyline to progress, you're going to have to maybe lose the tag belts, or
yeah,
you could have them retain, and then because, like I say, the closer we get to the Jade Cargill resolution to that, I think you'll finally get to see more that more of a progression, whether it's Bianca or Naomi, because I'm like I said, I'm not saying the women's tag belts are being held hostage by any stretch. What I'm saying is that a resolution would be fine, and if you put the belts on Liv and Raquel, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. Even if you put it on Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson, it's not the worst thing in the world.
no, it's not.
I think because have them if you
I'd
have them
rather see Lash and Jakara.
because if you have
Okay.
them if you have them drop the belt to Lash and Jakar, you're doing two things. A, we might get more progression in the storyline because now there might be potential friction between Bianca and Naomi, which could kind of lead to maybe some sort of progression in that storyline there. And then second, you're putting the tag belt on. Listen, like I said, a great tag team in Jakar Jackson and Last Legend. Because see, here's the thing that I think most people, and like I said, maybe it's just me. I always have this theory. I have weird theories, but I think when a tag team, WWE likes to make one build the one to be the great single star, and the other star kind of gets not say left by the wayside, but kind of left like in a mid card, kind of muddling there.
Yeah.
Because I always go back and use the Iconics as an example. Because when they broke up the Iconics, the plan was for Peyton Royce to kind of be the single star, and Billy Kay to kind of muddle around, being entertaining and great. But the problem is neither one really worked out the way they wanted to. And that's why sometimes, and it's a message that I think that WWE's figuring out, like, just pair, like, we know Lash is a great single star, but like, we haven't seen enough Jakara Jackson in singles matches. And listen, I'm not saying she's terrible in the ring. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that sometimes people are just simply better as tag teams. It's like this. Look at the Legion of Doom. Like the Legion of Doom were like, could they be single stars? Sure, but like as a tag team,
Yeah, yeah.
like as a tag team, they're way better than we had Alan and Hawk as singles runs.
Yeah.
Like, and and just like at some point, like listen, with Shawn Michaels and Genetic, listen, it was pretty clear up to a certain point that Shawn Michaels was the star, and that's why we got Shawn Michaels giving the old sweet chin music to Genetic through some glass. Like that makes a lot of sense. We saw what Genetic was never the same after that. So it takes me back to this point where putting the belts on Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson makes more sense to me than Liv and Raquel at the moment, because you could potentially do Lash and Jakara versus Liv and Raquel at WrestleMania. You could, because
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, I think, because like I said, you're checking two boxes. You're giving Lash and Jakara singles belt. You're giving them belts, and two, I think you're going to progress the storyline between Jade, Naomi, and Bianca, because that's the dichotomy. But I'm taking the side of maybe them losing the belts is maybe what maybe we need to get to progress that storyline, because maybe we need that friction between Bianca and Naomi, and maybe potentially Bianca getting frustrated with Naomi. And then, and like I said, it all leads up to a theory. So I'm sorry, I mean take up too much time, but those are my thoughts.
No, you're
No,
fine.
I agree.
Yeah, you're spitting facts, bro. When you cook, you cook. Don't apologize for that. And my thing is this: when you were talking about it, my first thought actually came to the NXT last week, where they were talking to Jakar and Lash,
Mm-hmm.
and how they have a lot of different teams in NXT. So it would benefit to
Yeah,
have
'cause-
the tag titles down there.
yeah, and then you think about like Roxanne and Cora Jade. That's a tag
Yes.
team right there.
Hmm.
Like like I say, there's some built in
Yeah.
that I think makes it work. That's why I think we're going to see more progression with these women's titles. Like, so that's my thought. I don't want to repeat what I said, but that's my thought.
No, you good, brother. You don't have to.
No, I agree. They need to use the women's tag titles more.
Yeah,
They
and
don't.
I
They
agree.
don't. They don't use them enough.
Yeah, and I see, and if you
And
put it
NXT would
on
be
the car and Lash, you actually would have some competitive matches.
right. And then NXT they could defend them more in NXT because there's not
Yeah,
a whole bunch of titles down there like there is on the main roster.
yeah. Well, they got the North American champion. They got the
Well, yeah.
NXT.
I mean, they've got 4 titles or
Yeah,
3 titles.
yeah, which is great. I love it.
No,
I
4.
actually love it.
Sorry,
The
4
women
titles.
are getting their respect too.
Yeah.
And so all right, who are we thinking is who who is like your go-to if you had to put the money on it? Who's the guy or woman that you think will win the Rumble? If you had to, if I told you, hey, just say your gut feeling. Don't It doesn't have to be because I know like Ladarius is right and he doesn't even have to go with the one he says in his writing. We want people to go read his article because please do.
Yeah.
So we're free plug there, but Ladarius, you know. So what do you guys think? Who's the woman for you? Who do you think is winning the women's Rumble?
Um. So my 2 picks from earlier still stand:
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte or Becky
Okay. I mean,
for
you
the
can't go
for
wrong with
for the women, at least.
yeah. You can't go wrong with Becky, and you really can't go wrong with Charlotte. Even though some people would get mad about that, but they are who they are. All right, Ladarius, what say you, brother?
And listen, as I'm a huge Becky Lynch fan. Huge.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think we could potentially get better yet, I want to see Becky versus Lyra for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania. To me, it makes a whole lot of sense. I don't care how we get there. Like I always say, I don't care how we get there, as long as you get there. Sometimes the GPS can be a little off. You just get there how we get there.
Yeah.
And so Becky's a consideration. And like I said, I mentioned Bianca Belair earlier, but another name that I think is interesting. What if they go the NXT route in this Royal Rumble? Because I wouldn't potentially could Roxanne Perez be in that? Because listen, she's held the belt. Probably one of the better NXT champions, period. And I like what Jerry mentioned with AJ Lee because, I mean, the minute AJ Lee shows up, because I saw John mention AJ Lee, and then I know Jerry mentioned AJ. That would be interesting. I think in the years of this women's Royal Rumble, this is the one year where I always say when I put together article this is the one year where it makes it really hard because you have like an inkling or a leaning, and that's why I say if Charlotte Flair. But listen, I think it's going to be a former winner. I think they're going to go with somebody. I don't use the word safe, but they're going to go with someone who it makes sense and someone who's won it before. And Charlotte makes sense because you could get Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. You could easily make a case. Do they want to run back Charlotte versus Rhea again at WrestleMania? To me, Charlotte to me feels like the one that makes a lot of sense when the picks don't make a lot of sense. But to me, the dark horse would be like Roxanne Perez because we got to remember she was on the main roster before briefly on SmackDown. And then when she went to NXT, became the champion. Well, what's going on? What was it? What was that?
No, I was doing the Roxanne thing where she does.
Oh yeah, I thought.
I was just
I thought you gave me the Oscar sign to wrap up.
To the main roster.
I'm like, I want to thank the Academy. I'm like, no, I got to wrap up my speech. Yeah.
I wasn't playing you off early. I promise. I was
I,
actually paying tribute to Roxanne because you
I
were
want
awesome.
to thank C Double. I want to thank Jerry. That's all I can remember. Gotta go, guys.
Oh, I got my kid. I'm coming home. Okay, no
I
kid.
got the Oscar. It's the Emmys. Same thing. Same thing. Just different show. But to put a button on it, like I said, I think if I had like Charlotte's gonna be one of the people I write about in the article that makes sense. But a dark horse is AJ Lee. There's like 3 or 4 options you can go with this year, and I like Becky Lynch. And I think to me with Becky Lynch, if I think there's a reason why they put the belt on Lyra, because the only reason why you put the belt on Lyra is if we get her versus Becky. And like I said, like John said, like here's the thing, bro. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you there, John, but I can make the case that who's to say that she's gonna lose? Like I understand what John's saying,
I wouldn't make her.
Yeah, I would
like
make.
because here's the thing: who's to say that Charlotte's gonna beat? I understand Charlotte, but who's to say that Tiffany gets even more over by beating arguably the
The
greatest,
greatest.
the most
Yeah,
decorated
like
women's
that could
champion
be a
in the
launch.
company's history?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be a launching pad. If Charlotte won and went with Tiffany Stratton, that is not a instant L. Actually, I would put.
Right.
I
Like
think
in years past, I would say sure, but
yeah,
this year, I'm like with Tiffany Stratton, I think they're going to put her in that category where hey, you're not going to
With
have Tiffany Stratton lose.
yeah, they're
But the
they're trying to get her to that Charlotte status.
yeah, when you look at the way she's being built, like this is like this is the kind of like the prototype. This is kind of like the blueprint for Charlotte Flair. And first of all, now and more importantly, that's why the whole thing with the briefcase where you saw her like from a week to week basis, she was leaning toward the face. Like she went from like heel and then leaned into the tweener stuff and then just became a full blown baby face
Yeah.
when she beat Nia Jax. So I don't necessarily because listen, I'm going to give Charlotte the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt. Charlotte does. I'll put it. I'll rephrase John's statement that Charlotte doesn't need to win at WrestleMania. I'll make because listen, she already has wins, and I understand that. Listen, she beat. Listen, the one thing I didn't like was the Oscar thing that I didn't like to have Oscar streak in that against Charlotte. I believe I can't recall which WrestleMania, but I know it happened. I believe
ugh, that was an ugly one.
so. My biggest thing is that Charlotte versus Tiffany. I'm not going to pencil in Charlotte getting the belt back. And to your point, Charlotte doesn't need a championship, but how it's the same thing with Becky versus Lyra. How do you put Lyra and the women's IC belt to the moon? Have Lyra beat Becky at WrestleMania. Because at the end of the day, WrestleMania hits a hell of a lot different than say did like especially like Survivor Series or Royal Rumble or anything like that. Listen, it's the Super Bowl of this company.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody's gonna watch.
yeah.
And if you're trying to put over that women's IC belt, have Lyra beat Becky Lynch. Once again, Becky Lynch is in the same. And listen, I love Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
I don't think she needs to win another championship either. So why? And Becky is willing. Becky has shown that she's willing to put people over. It's gonna put. That's true, John, but it doesn't have to be at Tiffany Stratton's expense.
I mean,
Because
look, Tiffany could lose the belt, but it doesn't have to be to Charlotte.
exactly, like yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Remember, this is just one step of the process. Champions can still lose their belts beforehand. Now, we want to try to see who's gonna. Because here's the thing, and this is why I said I like the fact that the one, the Rumble winners typically don't have to pick who they want
Mm-hmm.
right away. I want it to be that way because I like the intrigue. It makes you wonder. It makes, having the winner show up to both brands, see the champ, eyeball that title, figure is that what they want to do? And you would do the same with the women. Now, for Tiffany, Well, for Tiffany and Lyra, let's just bring this up. If no one thought Charlotte was going to beat Rhea when Rhea challenged for her for the title, because they all knew it was Rhea's time, and that catapulted Rhea to another level.
Yeah.
That's what they want to do with Tiffany. If
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the case. Now,
Yeah.
maybe later on, does Charlotte win against her? Probably, but that's later on. This is, as we said, the Super Bowl thing. And Becky, I can understand how someone could be tired of it, but in my view, Becky Lynch is the one person I can actually say is wanting to help develop the women still. So if she showed up, she wants to help work with the women and bring them to another level. And another way to help with that IC belt that just got won, you just got Lyra, you put Becky in that match at WrestleMania with Lyra, it's going to sink or swim kind of go. And if it doesn't go well, you'll see Becky win it. But if not, you'll see her put over Lyra. And it's nothing personal. This is just the way you should do it. So my thoughts are this: WrestleMania or the Rumble. The women's Rumble, I still, guys. I know Charlotte's there, but my thing is, I'm looking at Bianca. I look at Io, and then there's that Jordan Grace. And if you're telling me you want to really, get people behind what you're doing, and you've got all these free agents, and you want to show, hey, look, what you've done is good enough, and you could be one of us. I mean, that's a big billboard too. And I got to go here. If we want someone to match up against Rhea, Jordan Grace is the person. She would be, with her matches she's had. I mean,
Yeah.
let's just put it that way, man. I know somebody in TNA thought she was trash, but anyway, I know that was part of a promo, but I really don't care for her anyway because she is. But I would just love to see. I just think Jordan Grace winning and going against Rhea would be huge. And then for the men, give me Mandy Rose's. Oh, that would be nice. I'm not gonna lie.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, Mandy. Or look, Chelsea needs to do something fun though. I want Chelsea just to have some fun, do something hilarious, especially with the Secret Service agent.
Although I did forget to mention one of my men's surprise entries, but
Okay, what's your men's surprise since we're already there?
well, I mean, you already brought up his wife,
Yeah.
Matt Cardona.
Well, he's always ready, isn't he?
I honestly think that'd be a good surprise.
Oh,
As Matt Cardona, though,
yes.
not Zack Ryder.
A year ago, when people said, "Oh, bring him back," I was like, "You could probably bring him back as Zach, I guess," but no. This
He
go
needs to come
around,
back as Matt Cardona.
he's earned it. He's earned it. What say you, Darius?
Got a Matt Cardona?
Yeah.
What do you think about Matt Cardona? And then
Yeah. Listen,
or any
I think
possible surprises?
I said this on the show that Mike, and I echo what Jerry said. Like, here's the thing with Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona proved that you can have success out of the WWE cycle. He proved that if you go out, I'm not saying others haven't done it, but the way Matt Cardona, he's been in literally every other wrestling promotion that you could think of.
He was in TNA last week.
Exactly. It's like, wait a minute. And he's like, he was at TNA. I see him at AEW. He was
hardest working man.
GCW.
and
NWA.
Yeah. Because I saw him at NWA, and I'm like, I forgot who he faced, but
It was EC3.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
It was for the title. They used glass.
Yeah. You hear that, America? They use glass.
NWA, one of the oldest wrestling promotions in the world
Listen,
used glass.
forget that whole cocaine thing. They use glass. Okay.
By the way, Nick Aldis came from there.
Yeah.
Nick Aldis also came from TNA.
Yeah, he did.
And this has been Point Counterpoint, sponsored by the Royal Rumble. Get them tickets. No. But to me, like Matt Cardona just works. Like he proved that you can have success, and WWE has shown with the hiring back, like having success out of WWE is not going to punish you for having success out of their cycle. If anything, that just shows that hey, you're just going to get over it. Like Chelsea Green, she's the women's United States champion, and it's like so it just proves that hey, you can leave and come back. And to me, Matt Cardona is the one guy that comes to my mind. If you tell me the one guy who's had like a great success, it's how do I know? I'm watching TNA, he's on there. I see him on NWA, he's on there.
Mm-hmm.
GCW, I'm going online and I'm seeing this man at GCW. So like sometimes it's about promoting yourself. Sometimes it sounds like an old axiom, not the wrestler, but it's an old saying.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to bet on yourself, and that's exactly what Matt Cardona bet on himself to get out of the shadow of that Zack Ryder character, which wasn't terrible, but it was like, okay, I want to be
terrible,
but like he wanted to just do something different. It wasn't, he felt like he wanted to go out and do something different, and he did. He bet on himself, and to me, I wouldn't be shocked if he's one of the 30 guys at the Royal Rumble because. You don't know who's going to be there. That's what makes the Royal Rumble so amazing. It's the one time a year where that one guy that you thought would never be there would be there.
Yeah.
That one woman, like, listen, Jordan Grace had the biggest pop ever when she showed up. So at the end of the day, it's I listen. All I want to say is I'm pro Matt Cardona. That's all you need to know.
All right. So a surprise too. I just think I love the Matt Cardona. I actually would love that.
Oh,
go ahead.
What do we get Santino Marella?
Dude.
Or Santina, depending.
No.
Yeah, depending.
He's got his daughter. Although those two in TNA are funny together.
Oh, did you see the clip where he was in her dressing room and he had the crown? And he took it off like, oh.
I did. I saw it.
I'm like, man, the flashbacks. I'm like, hey folks, that actually happened. That actually happened.
Santino wrestled in drag.
Santino.
And he wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad?
No. He was very sick.
Yeah. In a very dark lit room, you might give it a shot. But listen, this is why you go to places with a lot of lights. So like you can see it. Like listen, you have nothing against it, but you're just like if you want to you look like Santino. Oh, what are you talking about? I'm your sister, Santina. Yeah. Oh, that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. It's like
man, Santina. So all right. So my names are really going to be simple though. I think Matt Cardona is a good shout. I love Santino now sounds like a good shout. Man, Trick Williams. It would be good to see Trick come out just to hear that ovation with the crowd. If he could get that crowd to, say whoop that Trick. Let's see. I would love for Opa. I would love.
Oh, man, the walk alone. It's just. Hey, I see your girl. I'm taking your girl. Hey,
dude. Hey. Like freaking New Day are there. They're like, we're not leaving until someone thaws us out. That would be, man. Look, anything Oba, I'm down with. But so I would love to see Oba Femi. Just or Nuncio. That'd be cool. He's AEW ready, so maybe WWE might want to use him.
Listen, I would take Nunzio in the world title picture at AEW than whatever's going on over there now. Because
Jeff Jarrett trying to be the world champ, Grandpappy.
Oh my god! Like look, I'm just gonna say this. Listen, the promos that's been going on,
Oh,
somebody's got to listen. You got to pull the old yeller on those things and take it out back because they're like you can't get through like 2 minutes of it without just going, oh my god. In the MJF promo, it just felt so forced. It didn't even feel genuine. It's like you can
oh,
tell when like your job as a wrestler is to sell me that you don't like or you love someone.
Yeah.
MJF really didn't want to be there. MJF would have rather been at a Waffle House than to do that promo he had to do because he would have been anywhere else in the world. And I respect MJF, and I'm not blaming MJF, but it's like
oh, he
name a
was.
company that says we're going to push guys pushing 60 in the title picture when all I was told by this company we have young stars. Well, if 60 is the new 30, then the math ain't mathing. Okay, because listen,
AEW, where the retired play.
because it's like where they really lost me when they put the belt on Jericho, the ring. I'm like, you know what? I think you're just not being like. Listen, like Tony Khan, like the Jaguars. Like, did you see that press coach, the head coach? Like, dude, your team is not serious.
Oh,
Dude, I'm like that team looks like a 1-16 team. Like they may get one win just because like okay, like a bunch of third string guys with nothing to play for.
Yeah.
It just felt like I just I didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but it just aggravated me that this company's got the nerve. Listen, the one plus they have is the women's division, and they're not even getting that right. Like the one thing they've gotten right, I feel, like the time was Tony Storm, but you could have waited on that. You could have held back on
Yeah,
that.
they should have pulled that out a little bit longer.
they should have done it on Dynamite. Just do it this Dynamite. But no, you freaking did it on the night you're going against freaking Saturday night main event,
Yeah, that was pretty stupid.
and you didn't even. You got 0.7, 0.07 as like 18 to 49 demographic and 250 viewers.
Man, can we check the numbers for C-SPAN? That sounds like
Exactly.
like we're going to show a book reading from President Grover Cleveland.
And you would probably had more viewers than you did.
Hey man, that Grover guy sounds interesting. Is that the Grover from Sesame Street? No, that's not. It's not the same guy. Oh well, I guess I'll go back to AEW.
You got Jeff Jarrett. I want to be world champion. And see, this is why I say the John Cena thing. This is the reason. I'm glad you brought that up because they're using Jeff Jarrett as their John Cena. So here's what I say, which is stupid.
Listen, I'm laughing because it's true, and it's like you look at the age.
He has no connection with AEW.
But here's the thing. Here's what's even more hilarious. It's the age difference between John Cena and Jeff Jarrett. That's what makes it more hilarious. You have 40-year-old dudes in your company right now that you can have the same angle and go over, but you chose Jeffrey Aloysius Jarrett to push over. That's the guy you're going to give the push to.
The tag team champions, don't call them late for supper. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin now.
They should have never took those belts off a private party.
Yeah, it's like, listen, it's like anything enjoyable, AEW just takes away. Like Private Party was enjoyable.
Private Party's enjoyable no matter what they do.
Exactly.
I don't know why they
were enjoyable. And then you have, respectfully, you have Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin. This is why you brought them in? Like,
disrespectfully, that was stupid.
Yes. Yeah. And it's like this is why, like I say, the one plus is the women's division, and like I say, they're somewhat getting that right. They're not even fully getting that right because, like I said, I love Timeless Tony Storm, I really do, but you could have held off.
About to wrestle Mercedes Moné. Let that sink in.
I'm sorry. Repeat that again, please. Repeat it for the people.
Harley Cameron is challenging Mercedes Moné for the TBS title. That is a rumored match for Grand Slam. A show, mind you, that was supposed to be a pay-per-view, but because it falls on the same day as the All-Star game for the NBA, they have to play this game or play the pre-recorded Grand Slam, not live, They're putting it on at 2:30 Saturday night.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'm either gonna be playing the PS5 or I'm gonna be asleep. That's gonna be the options because
My back of the
Two
eyelids.
thirty in the morning.
Yes,
yeah,
February.
I think it was February 15th, 16th or something.
Yeah, that's a good way to
February
get
15th.
views.
What is it? The 16th,
15th.
15th. Okay, I knew it was one of the 15th or
That's a good.
16th.
That's
Okay,
a
yeah,
good way to get views.
because I knew when the
Yeah,
NBA All Star game was like I knew I think that's the 15th. So
and they have no matches. Oh,
They're
Will
freaking
Ospreay,
idiots.
Kenny Omega is going to team up against the Don Callis family. Wait a minute, didn't Kenny say he wasn't about revenge?
Oh, well, he changed his
I mean,
mind.
yeah. And by the way, his big return was not on AEW because his
It's
AEW
Japan.
return was against Brian Cage.
I quit.
Yeah.
I'm
So
I
done.
quit.
We're done here. We're done
yeah,
here. Let's
AEW stop. I mean,
NXT's in Atlanta too tonight.
yeah.
no,
Okay.
that's next week.
No, it's this
No,
week. It's
that's
this week.
now.
It's this
No,
week because the women's tag matches. Yeah,
NXT is this week. Yeah,
yeah,
NXT.
yeah,
I
Center
said
Stage.
NXT.
yeah. At least, yeah,
Y'all. Yeah. See,
yeah,
we are on top of everything.
yeah. Me and Jerry are. We don't know what you see though. I don't know.
Right? Yeah.
No. I thought y'all said AEW, and I was for
No.
some
Oh wait, where are they from? Live from it? Ah, would you look at that?
You know what?
Unless GA
Darius
stands for
right.
Gregorius
I
and
would like
Amidala. I think it's
I would like to say that Ladarius, Laddie Daddy, and the Lone Wolf were right, and I was wrong. Look, it says live from Atlanta,
yeah.
so ye-
A Town Down Under.
And this
in
is the
Atlanta.
right time. We're gonna run back that MLK Day promo, the MLK vignette.
dude, that okay. Ladarius has been going on about this MLK promo,
Oh
and
my god!
Jerry, you were not here last week, so I want you to witness. So, Ladarius, please share with Jerry the Martin Luther
Sure.
King, uh, the promo and why it made you upset.
So it was MLK Day, last Monday. And so they run this pack like a vignette, like a package. And Jerry, all you see is wrestlers who look like me. Like if you were the same color as me, you were in that package outside of maybe like Oba Fenme and Trick Williams was in there. And it's just like you could have done that literally without doing that. Like just promote like the speech and his impact. You didn't need to let's show all our top African American wrestlers. Like I feel like Triple H was trying to tell us something, and I'm like,
Equality.
it's like listen, we get it. Like you don't. It's like you saw you saw I saw R-Truth and you saw I'm like Booker T was in there. Booker T, 2-time Hall of Famer, Booker T was in that MLK thing, and that's when I knew that we jumped the shark, we jumped the piranhas, we jumped everything there. Because I'm like, now I'm more focused on seeing these wrestlers instead of you talking about Dr. Martin Luther King. So I'm like, just like in WWE once
Bring up
it's like
Cody Raheem Rhodes.
Cody. It's like now if they would have put Cody in there, I've been like, you know what? I think we jumped the whole ocean with that.
They couldn't have did a better setup for this.
I think it's that weird step across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Bayley.
Fucking TNA had a better setup than that.
I was gonna say, I'm like TNA had something similar, but a little bit better.
Yeah, but personally, I kind of like it.
The
Though.
ring is like cockeyed.
Yeah, it is. But that's what it was the last.
Listen. Respectfully, look who's running NXT. So,
well, look, it is Shawn Michaels. You know, he
like,
can't.
so, like, I'm not. I don't want to go there.
I mean, he can see good enough to kick Kevin Owens in the face.
Well, to be fair, he had once he saw Kevin kiss that title, he was triggered.
Yeah, like his vision got saw because he saw like oh Kevin's pretty. That he saw the head, So he kind of listen. There's some things you just don't forget. Like some things are just like like your ABCs, your 1, 2, 3. That was HBK. He never got to do that. And then like he could have kept the hat on. I didn't need the hat off. You could have kept that on, but
That I love Bailey. I don't like the whole role model thing, but role model.
You
Yeah, but
know. Okay.
and now we're going to see Roxanne and Cora J.
I mean we got to put a button in the show before we get in trouble.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm,
just gonna
I'm,
have-
I'm gonna
They,
bounce.
they started off wrong for us, man. They're going to get us in trouble.
hey,
All
where's
right,
Oba? Oh,
Yeah, Oba was just walking with the crowd. I'm like, see, this is why this man needs to be.
oh my, John, not again with the grits,
Oh
John.
no, did he? Did he? Did he?
John, man, let's
Yeah, hold.
John,
I
let's
mean, look. To be
no,
fair,
no, don't be
what?
no. Stop it.
She look.
On
Look,
that note,
she's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
I
you
love
can
Roxanne.
follow me on Twitter and TikTok
Yeah.
at Ladarius_Brown. You can follow me on Instagram, Ladarius_Brown, and you can writer editor for Beyond Women's Sports. I have an article coming out about Maya Brady, the niece of Tom Brady, and also about my predictions for the women's Royal Rumble. Probably put 3 or 4 people in there. And thanks to the chat, and thanks to everybody here. Thanks to our guest Tanya Ray Fox. And so that's my outro. Jerry, you want to do yours?
no, I'm.
Come on, Jerry. You got to plug your stuff at least.
Okay,
It's
I'll do it.
okay.
I'll do it. Hi, I'm Jerry. I'm the lone wolf, baby. Woo! Viking Gaming 91, baby. Playing the Skyrim on Twitch and everywhere you watch your gaming, baby. All
I'm
the
bringing it
socials
back.
it's Jerry. Listen, I'm Jerry, baby. Woo! Lone wolf. All right, CW, you can go.
All right. C double 28 on YouTube, C double AWTN on Twitter. Just find us. We're always here. And look, thank y'all for coming out. It was a fun showing. We had a great time. We're going to review the Rumble. Probably do that on Tuesday just so no one gets mixed up. But man, keep telling your friends, like, subscribe to the channel. Also, like and subscribe to Ladarius_Brown on YouTube as well as on X. Want to thank him. Please follow and subscribe to him and leave a comment. So, we all could just keep this thing going, stay in the algorithm, and get people to watch. And big ups to Miss Tanya Ray Fox. Y'all check her out on Instagram and on YouTube. She is really good. She has some great content. She knows her sport. She does not mix words, and that's what we love about her. So enjoy NXT in
Yeah,
Center
right.
Stage live in Atlanta. I want to thank my guys for correcting me.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be
And,
drinking Dr. Pepper when it's time to make Coca-Cola. I don't know if that's safe or not, but you know what?
Hey, you know what? It is what it is. And
Yeah.
want to thank everybody that left comments. Appreciate y'all so much. Again, can't do it without y'all. And we'll see you this Saturday. Watch the Rumble, enjoy it, and then we'll see you Tuesday when we talk it all live. So for Jerry, Ladarius, I'm C Double. This is the review team. We appreciate you. We're out.